Thank you very much, Alan. And yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Day 3 finals of the British Swimming Championships 2022. My name's John Mason. I'm going to be the host for the entire week. And I tell you what a week it has been so far. Amazing racing has been happening in that pool, and I'm sure the rest of the week is going to be just the same. Welcome to the Deep End Live studio. I've got two guests joining me very soon. And of course, Andy and Amy up there on the commentary if you're at home. Alan, if you're here in the venue. So lots to look forward to tonight. And we're going to keep you as entertained as we possibly can. Remember to use the hashtag BSC2022, BSC22 across all social medias. Tag us in that, tag British Swimming. We love to hear from you guys. But before we get into tonight's action, I want to take a little look back at last night. I chose some of my favorite races, a couple of my highlights for you guys, just in case you missed the action. So my first pick of the night, of course, was the men's 200-meter fly. Jimmy Guy was back in that pool. He went out hot, he went out fast, but he managed to hold it the whole way through. It was an amazing race to watch, and great to see him get that British Championship title again. Moving along, we had Maddie Harris in that women's 100-meter backstroke. Her first ever British title. It was wonderful to see her do it. Some fantastic new blood. I think we're going to see big things from her in the future. We then moved on to what I thought was the race of the night. The men's 100-meter backstroke. Luke Greenbank scraped into that final, was in the outside lane, and then stormed at home. Amazing finish for that to take British champion. I know he was super happy with that one. Had a chat with him after the race. He was over the moon just to be there, let alone get the title. Finishing up, of course, was Abby Wood in that women's 200-meter breaststroke. It was a dominant swim from her. She's been looking great all week, of course. Her second title of the week. She's looking to get a few more. We'll see if we can see her do that as the week progresses. But that's enough from me. Now it's time for Day 3, so let's get into it. There we go. And welcome back to the Deep End Live studios, ladies and gentlemen. If you're at home, we're in here. It's awesome to have you. Joining me in the studio, of course, two faces you're going to recognize is Abby Wood and Adam Peaty. Thanks so much for coming down, guys, to have a chat, hang out. We're going to have a bit of a game in a bit. Abby, I want to start with you. You got that gold medal last night in the 200 breast. I know you were picking that performance apart just a little bit. We're going to play a little bit up here. Now you've kind of gone away, had a chat to your coach. How are you feeling about that with fresh eyes? It's on the screen here for you.
I think he was just like coming off the back of an illness. He wanted me to build competition to competition, and I think I realised now that I did the job that I set out to do, like building from Ireland and Edinburgh, and then hopefully keep dropping throughout the season. Like, it's a marathon, not a sprint this season, and I want my best performances to come at the end, so
yeah.
I'm fine with it now.
And you know, for those like 200s, I know tomorrow we're seeing you in the 100 as well. It's going to be a much faster race. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'll just try and stick with the other girls. I enjoyed doing it as a relay in Tokyo, so I just kind of want my name in the mix again, so I feel like I need to do it here to prove that I've got a spot on the relay team if I can. Just have a crack, why not?
Yeah. I'm sure you'll be amazing anyway. And Adam, same thing for you. You've had some great performances this week. Was this a happy Mel or a cranky Mel at the end of this race?
Excuse me?
When you saw Mel after this, was it a happy Mel we saw or a cranky Mel?
Yeah, I think happy. I've come a long way in, 10 weeks. But, it's swimming. Sometimes you can overthink it. Sometimes, I mean, most of the time, it's just about the race. And forget the scoreboard, have a bit of fun, adapt, have a bit of rest, go back stronger. But it's all about where we are in a few weeks' time and hopefully put on a good show in the home games in Birmingham.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. It's going to be amazing. And speaking of games, all right, Abby, I want to take you back to, obviously, last summer. Some real talk, all right? It was your first Olympics. 4th place in an Olympic final is an amazing achievement, but it can be a bit hard. Has that sort of, like, lit your fire, I suppose, as we head towards Paris?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, obviously it was hard in the moment, but it's probably done me a favour, like, just kick-starting again for another Olympic cycle. Like, it's definitely put a fire in my belly and given me a taster of what it could be like. So it was, like, really frustrating at the time, and it probably took me a few months to realise, but it has done me a few favours this season because I am ready to go again.
It's going to be an exciting one. I'm excited for your Olympic cycle, Don. It's going to be great. And Adam, outside of this, you've been doing, obviously, lots of camps, you're supporting other teammates, like teammate Luke Greenbank, lots of other athletes. Tell us a bit about that.
You know, I've always said in sport, one of the most important things as an athlete is to secure a legacy. And that's why, you know, obviously we've started supporting other athletes to create their own legacy and help them along that journey. So yeah, I mean, it's a very exciting thing to be part of and create. And, you know, Abby's already looking at my gilet. She wants one. So it's... It is very warm. It is probably too warm for poolside right now, but yeah, it's you know, it's a great initiative, and you know, I love the clinics. I love getting the energy back to the kids and the parents. I believe, you know, if you want to secure the next generation of success, we've got to hand that down. We've got to hand down the experience and you know, educate how to race and how to win.
Yeah, it's awesome to watch you do this. I think, you know, swimming's been waiting for this for a while, and to see someone like you sort of take the helm of it, I think we're going to see great things to come. But competition, we know swimmers are competitive, all right? We've been having our own chopstick challenge here in the studio over the last couple of nights. It's actually proven to be much harder than I thought it was going to be, all right?
I'm more nervous for this than my races.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do. So, Abby, we're going to get you to go first. So far, the top score is 5, all right? Amy Wilmot and Tom Dean tied for 5 Skittles. All you got to do, sounds simple, get as many Skittles from that bowl to that bowl with your chopsticks, okay? You got 30 seconds to do it.
Any technique.
Any technique. Technique is yours. Use whatever you want. So give me your mic. We'll get you in position. All right. Can we get 30 seconds on the clock? And we're good to go in 3, 2, 1. And she's trying a new technique. This is the chopstick scooping. If we were eating soup with these chopsticks, then it'd be a winner. Oh, you were absolutely crushing this. Abby, how long we got? Oh my God, we're almost there. Keep going, keep going. Oh, Adam, is this fair? He says, Adam, is that fair? That's yours, my darling. Is that fair?
I wouldn't say it's fair. I'll say it's very clever.
It
but
said
it's like,
any technique.
But she wasn't fully in. She was just sweeping it like that.
Right,
like,
yeah, you got to be
if you're
careful.
going to do it properly.
You're going to do it properly. Okay, hold on a second. I'm supposed to count this. Can we just say roughly 35? Roughly 35. We're on a time limit.
Yeah,
Roughly 35, okay? All right, Adam, it's your turn. You get yourself positioned. You need some chalk for your chopsticks. You got to come around this way, come around this way. We need to get it on camera. Abby, you come over here. Let him squeeze in. All right, let's get another 30 seconds on. 3, 2, 1, go. Bit of commentary from you, Abby.
I don't know what to say. I think he's copying my technique, getting a bit aggressive. I feel like calm and collective would be a better approach.
Oh, he's feeling the pressure. Feeling the pressure now. You put the pressure on. He's ruining the integrity of the game.
I mean, I'd feel under pressure if you're following up from my performance, so.
There's more on the floor than in the bowl.
I think this might be...
The panic! Enough! Stop.
36.
Oh. You know what? I think you're about right, Adam. Sit yourselves down, guys. There's got to be 36. There's got to be about 36.
That's about 20.
About 20?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to go to the video ref for this, guys. I'm going to get the slow motion replays up with the producers tomorrow, and by tomorrow, your scores will be up there. Thank you so much for coming down and hanging out. It's always a pleasure to see you both.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck for the rest of the season and the upcoming events. We're going to say farewell to them. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Abby Wood and Adam Peaty. Right, now it's over to Andy and Amy. They're going to tell us what's coming up tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John. Well, we've got a fantastic evening this evening, and we're kicking off with the final heat of the men's 1,500 metres freestyle, where Dan Jervis, he is pre-qualified for this 1,500 metres freestyle and only just missed the qualification standard for the British team at the World Championships by 1/10 of a second on the 400 metres freestyle. So that's going to be a really exciting one. And then, Amy, we've got the women's 50 metres freestyle.
Yeah, we have Anna Hopkin, who's favourite in that event, part of the 4x1 medley relay that won gold last year. She was part of the women's 4x100 freestyle team that won gold at Europeans, where they took a clean sweep. So keep an eye on her tonight. She should be pretty quick.
She certainly should, and that's, of course, that mixed medley relay at the Olympics won gold, but they also broke the world record. That was a very special race indeed. One of my favourites to commentate on, I have to say. Then we've got the men's 400 medley, and a teammate of yours up in Scotland, Duncan Scott, Mr. Versatile. He's doing the 400 medley this time. Is the British record on here?
I am really looking forward to this event, obviously slightly biased. Duncan's such a good all-round swimmer. He just made the 400 this morning not look too hard, so we could see him swim pretty quick tonight.
Well, then we've got a very, very special presentation. That's a secret at the moment, but it's going to be pretty exciting. So that comes after the 400 medley. Women's 200 fly, Laura Stevens, Olympian. Can she qualify for the British team for the World Championships? And then the final race, that men's 100 free, is going to be an absolute cracker to finish.
Yeah, we could see almost a lot of the swimmers that are in the pool tonight in Paris in that relay in just a couple of years' time. So a really exciting one to finish with.
Well, there could be records all over the place in that. A really great set of finals this evening. This is the third night of 6. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute cracker.
Thank you very much, Andy and Amy. If you're at home watching the stream, you're going to be hearing a lot of them throughout the night, keeping you guys up to date on all the racing action. And now, if you're in the venue, it's over to Alan March. Let's get into it. Day 3 finals.
So straight into the first race of the evening. It's actually a heat. It's the final heat. There have been 6 heats of the men's 1,500 metres freestyle so far. And now we come to the final heat. It is heat declared winner, so there's no heats and finals at this event. And the fastest seed for this final of the men's 1,500 metres freestyle final, it is Dan Jervis of Swansea University. I've got to say, I loved watching him on that 400 freestyle, but so nearly got the qualification standard for the World Championship team for the 400 metres freestyle, but pre-qualified on this 1,500.
Yeah, he earned that spot last year after swimming really well at the Olympic Games. So he finished 5th, I think, in that 1,500 metres freestyle. So he earned his right to be pre-qualified this summer for the World Championship. So even though he doesn't really have to be rested, he's still in really good form because he swam really quick yesterday.
Well, his lifetime best, 14:46, and the British and Welsh record is actually 14:45 by David Davis, so it'll be lovely to see him get close to that. And as he set a lifetime best in the 400, can he do a lifetime best in the 15 and break the British record?
Well, we'd like to see that tonight. It'd be phenomenal if he could get in there and do that sort of on his own, really. Hopefully some of these boys will be coming with him, but he is entered with a PB 15 seconds faster than the rest of the field, so we'd probably see Dan take it out tonight.
There's Hector Pardo. He's in lane 0. We have 10 lanes used for this because it's a heat, and then 8 lanes for all the other finals this evening. And Hector Pardo, a British Olympian in Tokyo in the open water, the 10,000 metres. And right next to him, Gordon Mason, another open water swimmer and pool swimmer, swims at Arizona State University, looking for the Scottish qualification standard for the Commonwealth Games. That'll be interesting to see if he can do it. And Tyler Melbourne Smith of Liverpool, another junior, very good junior, and he could qualify if he does a lifetime best for the European Junior Championships on the 1,500 metres freestyle. The time we'd be looking for, 15:31, is quick. Another open water swimmer, European Junior Champion back in 2019, Nathan Hughes, goes in lane 3. And then in 6, Amy, William Bell of Loughborough University.
Yeah, some of these guys most of these guys, in fact, were in the 400 freestyle on the first day. So we saw Hector, Luke, Daniel, Toby, and William all in that 400 freestyle, and it was a really good battle between them for sort of second, third, and fourth. So I'm hoping that tonight this will be a really close race as well.
And there is Tobias Robinson, another very good open water swimmer, was 5th on the 400 meters freestyle. But here's the big man. It is Dan Jervis. He's the fastest seed. He hasn't quite got the British record yet, just a second outside of that from his lifetime best. And with that brilliant 400 meters freestyle, he really went for it in the individual 400 free. A lot of open water swimmers in 1, in 2, in 3, in 5, excuse me. But right in the centre. Starts as a massive favourite, I think, to Dan Jervis.
Yeah, 100%. You'd like to think that Dan showed his strength in the 400, so he'll be probably trying to break away from the rest of the field, get into his own pace, into his own rhythm, and he'll want to try and post a good swim tonight, even though he is pre-qualified for the World Championships.
I'll tell you what, he's on it, isn't he? Look at that. No issues with pre-qualification, so I don't need to go fast.
No, he looks ready to go, really focused there.
The final, the 1500 meters freestyle, the final heat. So it is heat declared winner, 10 lanes used for heats, and 8 lanes used for finals. So as this is the final heat, we've got lane 0 closest to us. And in lane 0 is Hector Pardo of Loughborough University, who did swim the open water in Tokyo Bay. And unfortunately got attacked, didn't he? Absolutely attacked by the Aussie.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I had a bit of a hard time at the Olympic Games, so the 1500 for him will probably seem like an easy deal. No one else fighting with his lane. He can focus on his own race. And we also saw Hector in the 200 metres butterfly yesterday, so he's had a busy start to the week, but it's nice to see some of these open water swimmers coming into pool swimming.
Well, the gold and silver on the 400 metres freestyle. The green hat going out very quickly is Dan Jervis, and then one lane closer to us from him, it's actually on the right-hand side of that shot, is Luke Turley. There, one lane closer. So first is Dan Jervis, second Luke Turley, third Tobias Robinson, and 5. And already, well, that's just the 100 metres mark, 56.01. And that's a very quick start indeed for Dan Jervis. And there is no doubt about it. Look at his legs, look at his drive. He is going for this British record.
Yeah, he's really working there. Dan always has a bit of a consistent kick, so you'll probably see the legs drop a little bit, but he will be kicking predominantly for, well, most of this 1500 metre. He has got a good kick, so he uses that to his advantage, but he is also then able to turn it up even more towards the end of the race, and we saw him do that in Tokyo. He had a fantastic swim there. It was difficult when the 3 or 4 people in the centre of the pool are breaking away a little bit, and I think Dan was in lane 2 or 3, so he was just on the outside and managed to kind of swim his own race, and he swam really well last summer, so it was nice to see him swim so well. He's a lovely person as well, which is always nice when you see somebody who you know works really hard, is a genuinely lovely person, and then gets the result that they've been working for.
Well, he's looking good at the moment, and that record held by David Davis, set at the Athens Olympic Games back in 2004. So what is that? That's 18 years old now, something like that, 17 and a half years old. What a wonderful swim that was from David Davis. And very nearly won gold. I mean, it's a brilliant swim that was. So that's the 250-metre turn, and he's looking good, really good. 5 seconds underneath 30 seconds per 50 at the moment. And, well, it'll be interesting to see what sort of pace he tries to hold here. If he can hold 59s, he's going to go very, very well indeed. 59 lows he's going to have to go if he's going to break that British record, I think.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to see him do that. Here we have him turn on this 300 mark and 2:55.2. So we do a little bit of math, and he's still holding under 60, so 59.8, sorry, split on that 100, so a really good start.
Well, his 100-metre split of 56.01 was exactly the same as he went last time, so he is really going for it. His lifetime best is 14:46, so he's on it at the moment. He does need to pick it up a little bit, though, if he's going to break that British record that is held by David Davis. And he looks good at the moment. He's really working his legs pretty hard, and it looks like he's going, that's like a 200, 400 metre stroke, isn't it? Can he keep this going for 1,500?
I was just thinking, sometimes I see Dan and he looks really, really long, and I think he could swim like that all day, but he does look like he's not working really hard here, but he's definitely not messing around. And sometimes when you're in the middle of the season, you have to put in a little bit more effort because you know it's not going to be as easy as normal. So maybe Dan's just thinking, well, I'm not feeling as strong of a body, I might be a little bit tired after the 400, so he's using his legs a little bit more than we might see.
Well, he's dropped a little bit, Amy. He's now, that last 100 was 60.0, so he's just off the pace that he set when he broke his lifetime best back in 2019. So it does need to pick it up a little bit, which is quite extraordinary, given what you're looking at the moment. He does look really good, doesn't he? And that's that split there, 425.44, so he's 14/100 above 30 seconds per 100, so this looks like it's going to be another 60.3 or something like that.
Yeah, Toby Robinson's also looks like he's having quite a good swim. We've seen him originally in the pool, always favoured the 1,500 metre, kind of transitioned into the open water. Last year we saw him dip back in and out of the pool and the open water, so he looks like he's keeping his options open, which is really great. And we see Dan there just split 60.2, so he's almost dropped 0.1 each 100, so it'd be nice if he could now just try and settle into a rhythm and just really hold this with 20 laps to go.
It's hard to compute, isn't it? Just 20 laps to go, 30 lengths this race is. I tell you what, though, the other two guys are going very well indeed. Tobias Robinson of Wolverhampton in 5, he really is swimming well. And in 3, it's Luke Turley of Bath, and those 3 guys well ahead of the rest of the field. And, well, we do see Dan Jervis really charge on the second half of his races, particularly on that Commonwealth Games, I remember, back in Glasgow, where he won a medal. I think he got a bronze medal, but he was miles behind and then suddenly started charging and started overtaking swimmers left and right, and it was a super swim, that. Really brilliant. This, the 600 metres turn, is split 5:56.0, so that was 60.4.
Yeah, we see Dan so often have the ability to really turn that leg kick on with 100 and 200 metres to go, and as Andy said, in Glasgow a couple of years ago, he just went, right, now's my time, the legs are on, I'm firing, I'm full of beans almost, and he did take a big chunk out of the rest of the field and came through there to finish really strong. So we know he's a really strong 1,500 swimmer, and he's got a really good back end to his race, but it's nice to see him also trying to get out there and give himself a chance to swim really well, and that's not easy when you're not probably 100% rested.
Well, that is a very important point, Amy. He's not fully rested, and he does look very good. He's about a second and a half off his lifetime best pace at the moment, at the 500 metres turn he was. So he's still on for around that 14 minutes 50 mark, and if he can just duck under that, I mean, a 14:40 anything is a truly world-class swim. 6:56.51, so another 60.5 there.
Yeah, these 3 boys now kind of broke away a little bit from the rest of the field. We saw Luke Turley, who's just on the bottom of the screen there, under Dan, swim really well. He took the silver in the 400. He was European junior champion in the 4x200 freestyle a few years ago. So there is some world-class swimmers in this field, and the 3 of these boys really showing their excellence now and burning away from the rest of the pack.
I really am impressed with Toby Robinson up in 5. He very nearly qualified for the Olympic Games. There was an extra qualification meet, and unfortunately for him, we were only allowed to have 1 British swimmer in the race for all sorts of technical reasons, but basically they had to swim faster in the initial trial. But he actually, I think he won the second trial, did really well, and was actually ahead of some of the other swimmers who actually ended up going, which is a real shame. 7:57.0, so that's another 60.5, so he's very steady now at 60.5s.
Yeah, 60.5 mid-season, for a 1500 freestyle. Still not a shabby split at all. I know Dan will probably be his worst critic when he gets out of the race, but almost he could be thinking of a number of things here. He could be thinking, I just want to swim a really good technical swim. He might be working on some process goals, not necessarily too fussed about the clock. So there are lots of things that sometimes we don't really know that swimmers are working on, and it's not always about the time, like we keep saying. Obviously, you want to come to the British Championships and you want to swim really well, but when you're one of the world's best swimmers in your event, you have sometimes got the ability to take your foot off the gas in terms of times and really sort of work on some of those technical skills that you might have been practicing in training that you can then implement when you get to race.
8:57.48. So that's a little bit faster. That was a 60.4. So the last 100s, he's gone 60.28 for his 5th 100, then 60.49, 0.44, 0.5. And that again was a 0.4. So he's very, very even at 60.4s and 5s.
Yeah, very consistent, which is exactly what we want in distance swimming. You want to get down the first 100, maybe 200 meters a little bit faster. Then you want to think about settling into a pace, trying to hold that pace for as long as possible and it not cost you too much, so that by the end of the swim, when you need that sort of burst of energy, it might be close and there might be 3 or 4 of you in a line and you want to get your hand on the wall first. You've not burnt too much energy too early. So it's really good to see Dan just ticking over 60.4, 60.4, 60.5, and this looks like another consistent 100 meters.
So this is the 1,000-meter turn. And he's just under 10 minutes, just under a minute per 100, 9:58.12. 9:58.12. So he's now 6 seconds outside of his best time. So obviously he's not really rested and not really ready. And I'm sure at the World Championships in a couple of months' time, the Commonwealth Games as well, and possibly even the Europeans. I mean, a tough triple, that's for international swimming. I would imagine this is the phase where it gets harder when you're not rested. It really is difficult to dig, isn't it? You need that the rest and the ability to really start digging deep, and that's when you can get the speed when you've been resting. But right now, he's just going to be working so hard. Look at the legs, the discipline is extraordinary.
Yeah, as I said, Dan's just got such a lovely stroke and he uses his arms and his legs to balance that. Some 1,500-meter swimmers we see just almost pull the entire race and then just turn on the legs right near the end. But Dan's just got a really nice, well-balanced stroke, and for him to kick his legs, not really hard, but he's definitely using them the whole race rather than just dragging them behind him. That's obviously where he finds a little bit of balance.
At 10:58.56, so another, well, he's a little bit faster then, 60.4. So he's still right on it, almost metronomic on the 60.5s and 60.4s. So Dan Jervis leading. Second at the moment in lane number 5 is Tobias Robinson. Third, Luke Turley. Fourth, Hector Pardo down in lane 0. Fifth is Nathan Hughes of Swansea. Sixth, Gordon Mason of Guildford. William Bell is 7th. Tyler Melbourne Smith, 8th. The City of Liverpool. 9th, Joseph Dane of Swansea. But no doubt about the leader, and he really is now what he must be about 15 metres, maybe even 20 metres ahead. Coming into this turn, it's the 1,200 metres turn, so 6 lengths to go at this turn.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see what this split is. He looks like he might have picked it up a tiny bit. Kind of working now, he knows he's not too far away from the end of the race, but it is so difficult when you're doing this on your own in the middle of hard training, when you haven't really got anyone around to push you, and he can probably see 1 or 2 of his teammates I can see waving in the stands, but it's definitely not an easy swim no matter who you are or where you are in this race. It's so split. The whole pool is almost swimming each 1,500 on their own. They're not really competing with the person next to them, so it's definitely tough for all the swimmers in this field when there's so much distance between you and the next person.
Well, he's looking to be on for about, I think, about maybe 14:56, something like that, 14:57 maybe. I mean, he does come back very fast, but his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 100s have all been within 1/10 of a second each other. 1/10. If you clap really quickly, that's 1/10 of a second. Absolutely metronomic, incredible. 12:59.51. So again, another 60.4. That's 8 100 meters in a row within 0.1 of a second of each other. Incredible.
Yeah, if you're watching at home and you're an aspiring distance swimmer, this is almost how you want to be swimming a 1500. You want to be even splitting almost every split from 500 to 1,000, especially that middle 500 is really important.
So Dan Jervis leading and no one else in the frame. Look at that. That really is incredible. Tobias Robinson, great open water swimmer. This will be good for him. Just going by the other way there was Luke Turley of Bath National Centre. But look at the lead he's got now, and that's almost 20 metres or so, coming into the 1,400 metre turn. So he will get the bell here, which means there's 2 lengths to go in this final heat of the men's 1,500 metres freestyle. We've had 6 heats so far. This is the 7th. And as he's led right from the gun, Dan Jervis of Swansea University swam a really brilliant race so far, not rested, and he's going to go under 15 minutes. Very, very good swimming.
Yeah, anything under 15 minutes is a good swim. We can see Dan now starting to pick up the leg kick. He's really working hard there. His stroke rate's increased a little bit. He knows he's only got 75 metres of the race left, and it'll be hurting, he'll be screaming and everything, and basically your whole willpower is willing you to the end of this race, so you just want to dig in and you want to try and just squeeze everything that you can out of this last 50 metres especially.
Well, it's very impressive, and this guy was 5th at the Olympic Games in the final of the 1,500 metres freestyle. Such a tough event, and all the show ponies, the sprinters, they all think they're great, but everyone's got respect for these kind of guys. They are just so tough, and look at this. This is his 30th length, and he's been going like the clappers from the start. It is very, very impressive indeed. Dan Jervis is the British champion in the men's 1,500 metres freestyle, 14:58.6. 14:58.6 is a really tremendous swim when he's rested. He swam a fantastic 400 the other day. Second, the silver medal goes to Tobias Robinson, the open water swimmer. And then Luke Turley just coming in for the bronze medal now from the Bath National Centre. The times for silver and bronze, 15:12.4. And the bronze for Luke Turley, 15:20.7. So very, very tough indeed. Nathan Hughes, Hector Pardo, 4th and 5th. 6th up there is William Bell. And then, well, a pretty tired Gordon Mason coming in. He's going to be about, 15:45. Tyler Melbourne Smith, 15:46, a lifetime best for him. That's a really good swim from him.
I think also Gordon Mason was almost right on his PB there. Finishes in 15:45.35. In fact, did a 0.01 second PB over 1,500 metres. Seems like an awful long way to only take 0.01 off your best time, but really impressive still.
But at the end of the day, exactly, those initials P and B are going to be after the swim. Well done. And look at this guy. Look how he looks when he's just swum under 15 minutes for 1,500 metres freestyle. Unrested. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Was that a little bit of an exhalation? He looks a little tired, Amy.
I know, I don't think I'd be able to just jump out after I'd swum a 1,500 metres.
So Dan Jervis, national champion in the 1,500 metres freestyle, sub-15, very good indeed, unrested. Tobias Robinson, the silver from Wolverhampton, and Luke Turley, the bronze from Bath National Centre. Well, let's hear from the champion with John Mason.
Now, Dan, obviously, congratulations, British champion. Analysing that race, you said you could have been happier with that one. Biggest critics swimmers are to themselves. What sort of went wrong in that, in your opinion?
I think physically, I'm in the best shape of my life. I think I showed that on the 400. It's what we train for. I got to be honest, I've got to put all my credit to my coach, Adam. He's worked harder than I've ever seen a coach work, in the pool and out of the pool. I think I just let it get to me. I was so focused, but I think I was focused on the wrong things, to be honest with you. I think I was focused on the time, and that's not what you should be focused on. You should be focused on the race. You should be focused on the technique, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to be honest with you, I am disappointed with that. I'm disappointed in myself because I know what I'm capable of. I know I should be a world-class swimming athlete, and I was in the 400, but I think I let myself down a bit there. And, I'm just being honest. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, it was all right, because it wasn't all right. Not for me, not for my standard. But you know, it's April. I don't want to be doing that in the summer. I won't be doing that time in the summer, you know. So, you know, if it's going to happen, now's the best time.
And that's what it's all about, Dan, as well. You know, we're looking to peak in the summer. That's what your goals are. So don't be too hard on yourself here today. I know you tend to do that. But, you know, it's a tough race. You're not fully tapered. You were out there on your own the whole way as well. So what's going through your mind as you're heading down those laps? There's no one around you to sort of set pace with.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I was doing that on my own. But at the same time, you know, that's what I train for. I am prepared for that. And I should have been more personally prepared. Do you know what I mean? I should have been more mentally prepared for that because that's the work that I've put in. But you know, like, yeah. I'm just a bit like, I'm off with myself. I'm my own worst critic.
Yes,
so like,
I know.
I'm really going to be beating myself up over this, you know. But you know, I think the test of a true athlete is, yeah, you might have some not so great swims, but you know, in 2 days' time, I've got the 800. I expect to do well in that, you know.
Well, clean slate. And listen, we've seen you do incredible swims. Your 1500 in 2019 is still one of my all-time favorite swims I ever watched. So I can't wait to see what you do this summer. You're British champion, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for him. He's a legend, it's Dan Jervis!
Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr.
Honestly.
Wow. Well, that was fascinating, I have to say. I mean, he says he's his own worst critic, and that was harsh. I think that was really pretty good. I mean, sub 15 minutes of 1500 meters freestyle. His 400 was excellent. He really will learn an awful lot from it. A great time to learn. I mean, if he really has made some mistakes, which clearly he feels he has, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, but I think he was probably too hard on himself. I know he says he's his own worst critic, but I'm sure he'll go back and look at that swim and there will be positives in there. Obviously, his even splitting, the way that he looks, it didn't look scrappy, his technique, and as he said, you learn the most from those swims when they're not quite the one you want. So, yeah, he's got lots to work on, and if you're going to swim bad in Dan's eyes, you swim bad now, and then you swim really well in the summer. So he's got lots to work on, and I'm sure he'll reflect a little bit better on that when his coach says it probably wasn't as bad as he thought.
Well, he's a true champion, certainly. And it's not how far you fall, but it's how quickly you get back up. And I would be very, very surprised if he doesn't fix the issues that he feels he needs to. And he gets close to the medal podium, if not on it. Certainly the World Championships, I'm sure he will do at the Commonwealth Games. He's utterly brilliant 1500 freestyler. Straight in, though, to the women's 50 metres freestyle. This is the junior final. And Beth Hall of Cleethorpes goes in lane number 4 in this, the first final of the women's 50 metres freestyle. Very quick indeed. A really super start in 3.
Yeah, Holly Widows had a really good start there. She was off the block quick. Her underwater work was really powerful, and she's flying down this 50 metres.
Well, she's going for the European Junior qualifying time, which is 25.97, and she can do that, Holly Willows, in 3. And Holly Widows looks really good. What's she got on? 26.14. Oh, my goodness me. 17/100ths of a second outside the consideration time for the European Junior Championships. They're tough consideration times, though, so she can still get selected for that, and she looked great. That was very, very impressive. Right from the gun, Amy.
Yeah, PB from her, and she dropped 0.63 from this morning, so she's obviously gone away, rested, looked at her race, maybe kind of pulled out 1 or 2 things to work on, and she's come back and she swam a great swim tonight.
Well, Holly Widows winning it, and Sky Carter second, the 14-year-old from Basildon and Phoenix. That was an amazing swim for her too. 14 years of age to come second in the junior final. And she can go to the European Youth Olympics. This is not an event to be selected automatically for that team. I think if you're the fastest on the 200s, you get to go. But they will then fill the team up with other great potential swimmers. And it's going to be a small team, but that certainly will give her a chance. So the Priority Paris final, 7 swimmers in this. The women's 50 metres freestyle. The fastest seed in lane 4 is Jemima Hall of the University of Bath. In 1, closest to us, Isabella Ocaro. Her sister's actually in the big final fairly shortly. Twin sister. So the Priority Paris final of the women's 50 metres freestyle, and a good start up there in lane number 6 from Charlotte Berry. Also Jennifer Horn in 7.
Yeah, nothing really splitting these girls as you come through 25. You want to make sure that you're not over-breathing in 50 metres freestyle, so the girls will be looking to kind of hold their breath now with the last 15.
Emma Van Selma Bromley was ahead when they passed us with about 15 metres to go, but so tight. Wow, really close. Scarlett Major gets the touch from the city of Newport, and she's won it by 5/100ths of a second. Scarlett Major wins it. Second was Jemima Hall of Bath. 26:43, 26:48, 26:53, 56. So close. Look at that. Unbelievably close.
That's why it's super important to get a really good finish. If you're breathing, especially in a 50 in the last 10 metres of the race, you just open yourself up for somebody to come straight over the top and just pip you at the finish. So those are the things that you really want to be working on in the women's 50 freestyle.
Well, they're coming very, very quickly indeed. The swimmers must be ready. And just behind that board, there's actually a swim down pool. There's a 20, they swim across the pool, 25 metres. So there's this Olympic length pool here, and then the diving pit is cordoned off for swim downs. So we have Harriet Rogers as the fastest seed, our Olympian on the 100 metres butterfly. She goes in 4, and in 5, Erin Little of Mount Kelly actually beat the qualification standard for the European juniors in the heats this morning by 2/100ths of a second. See if she can better it again.
Yeah, it'd be really good to see her swim well. She's also the 13-year-old British record holder, so the last time she probably raced at this level was a long time ago. So it's nice to see these swimmers back in and some of the junior ones making these B finals.
And of course, Commonwealth Games qualifications available for many of these swimmers. European youth qualifications, 6 different competitions this summer, potentially. There is lane 5 in the white hat. Erin Little of Mount Kelly, in 4, it's Harriet Rogers, Borough of Stockton. The B final of the women's 50 metres freestyle, and Harriet Rogers starts as the favourite in lane 4.
Really quick turnover from her. She's got a super high stroke rate and slightly high head position, but doesn't look like it's stopping her here.
Well, at the moment, it's really, really tight. It may well be in 4, Harriet Rogers. Also going well in 2 is Harriet Jones of City of Cardiff. And those 2 at the moment, it looks like it may be Rogers. Rogers in 4. And does Rogers get the touch? Yes, she does. 25:76, Harriet Rogers gets the touch. Second was Harriet Jones of Cardiff. And third, Erin Little of Mount Kelly. Her time 25:83, so she's gone even faster. And again qualifies for the European juniors on this 50 metres freestyle. Really good swim from her, 25:83, another lifetime best.
Yeah, nice to see so many swimmers doing well here. Harriet Rogers finished first, 25:76, and 0.03 splitting her and Harriet Jones.
And 4/100ths back again to Erin Little. How close was that? 7/100ths splitting the first 3. So the big final, here we go. The big final, the A final of the women's 50 freestyle. The fastest seed is our Olympic champion, Anna Hopkin. She anchored that mixed 4x100 medley relay at the Olympics to gold and world record. What a fantastic swim that was. And she had to go head-to-head with Caleb Dressel on that mixed medley relay on the freestyle leg. Still can't believe she did that and took him down. She's the only person at the Olympics to beat Caleb Dressel on the 100 metres freestyle.
You'd like that stat. I'm sure she'll have that in her bio next time. Here we have lane 1, Lucy Hope from the University of Stirling. She was part of the gold medal winning 4x100 freestyle team at the European Championship. So her and Anna were both in that.
She's the Scottish record holder on the 100 metres freestyle as well. And she's got an interesting lane assignment, lane 1. That could be very good. Well, Eva Ocaro of Sevenoaks, her sister's already swum in one of the earlier finals here. European junior medalist in the 50 freestyle last year, and she is still a junior. And Emma Russell, another Scot in lane 6. The Scots having a good meet here, and they are qualifying all over the place for the Commonwealth Games team.
Yeah, there are plenty of Scots, as you say. Evelyn Davis, or Evie Davis, is also looking to kind of secure one of those positions on the team for Scotland, along with Emma Russell and Lucy Hope. So they've got some really good sprint freestylers, so they could have a really good 4x1 freestyle relay in the summer as well.
And there's Isabella Hinley from Brompton. And she's second fastest seed, but here she is, Olympic champion, Olympic gold medalist on that mixed 4x100 medley relay. Anna Hopkin, brilliant 100 metres freestyle. And made the Olympic final in that 100 free. And Anna Hopkin goes, I think, as a pretty big favourite here. She's in lane number 4. And also watching lane 2, Eva Okaro, who did beat the European junior qualification standard on the 50 metres freestyle.
Yeah, I think Darcy River also did that. So if the pair of them can swim even faster tonight, it gives them a massive benefit to be on that team.
Well, they've just seen in the previous heat, swimmer from Mount Kelly, Owen Little, go 28, 25.83. Can they beat that? The final of the women's 50 metres freestyle, Anna Hopkin in lane 4. A good swim from her, good start from her, I should say, and also in 5, a really good start from Isabella Hindley. Those two were going really well.
Yeah, both of these girls swimming with a straight arm. We don't see that really in the rest of the field. So coming through now is Anna Hopkin really, really well into the finish here.
And I know she's been working on a breathing pattern. I think she's only breathed once so far down this 50. Looking good. Time 24.85. That's faster by 1/10 of a second from the swim that she did this morning. That's another good swim from her, just outside the senior consideration time for the World Championship team, but I'm sure she'll be going for the 100 metres freestyle, I'd imagine for the 50 free as well, because those relays so important, and she swam brilliantly last year at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, Anna's pre-selected, so she won't be fully rested here, and if you're not rested over the sprint events, it can be quite tough to find that sharpness if you've not really been training it. So really good swim from her, and I'm sure she'll get to swim that out at Worlds this summer.
So there is the British champion on the 50 metres freestyle. It's Anna Hopkin from Loughborough National Centre, coached by Mel Marshall, Adam Peaty's coach. And what a swim. I can also tell you that Eva Okaro beat her heat time, so she again has gone underneath the European junior time. And Darcy Devitt a tiny bit slower than this morning, but they've both already made it through. So Anna Hopkin, national champion, 50 metres freestyle, 24.85, talking to John Mason.
Well, Anna, congratulations, British champion. A faster swim I saw than you had this morning. It was a nice little splash and dash to get your night underway.
Yeah, that was a decent race for me. Obviously, it's been a different sort of preparation coming off an Olympics, so it's just good to see where I'm at this point in the year.
Yeah, and I know you've been out of the water for a little bit as well. You were run well, you're coming back in, starting to find the feel for it. How are we feeling as we're sort of ramping things up in the pool this season?
Yeah, I mean, I got COVID last week, so that obviously wasn't ideal. But it's just something we have to deal with now, and you know, I've been able to bounce back okay. So training's been really good this season, and I've had some good times already, so yeah,
yes.
It's looking good.
And, I mean, I just want to take it back quick, because it's the first time I've seen you since you had your Olympics moment. You broke a world record and got a gold medal, your first world record. What was that like?
Oh, it was incredible. Like, it still doesn't seem real, like, when you say it. So, yeah, it took a while to kind of come to terms with and get over, but obviously it's just good to carry that momentum forward.
Don't get over it. You broke a world record.
I won't.
I don't think I ever would. Look, congratulations. I can't wait to see what you do this season. It's going to be amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Anna Hopkin. Well done,
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Anna's also got a fantastic story, so it's no wonder that she sometimes can't believe what she's done. Anna swam when she was a junior. She then kind of went to school, did a lot of other sports, kind of took a little bit of a back burner from swimming, and then she started swimming again at uni, swam really well. Then she went out to America, and all of a sudden started swimming some really world-class times at the NC2As. So she come back, trained at Bath for a little bit, and now she's at Loughborough with Mel Marshall, as we said. So her story is incredible, and I think no wonder she can't believe what she's done, because she's not a traditional swimmer from the age of 11 all the way through to what she's doing now.
Well, she really was, I think, probably her and Kathleen Dawson, the two standout British females by the British team in Tokyo, both on that mixed medley relay, and both winning Olympic gold medals. Quite something special. And when she was out in the States, she was at Arkansas with my old mate Neil Harper, and they had a little bet that if she made the Olympics, then they would both get Olympic rings tattoos. So Neil's got whacking great big Olympic rings tattoos on as a 57-year-old getting his first tattoo. Good on you, Neil. Hilarious. But my goodness me, well, if your swimmer ends up getting Olympic gold medal, that's just something special, isn't it? Straight into the finals of the 400 medley, there's 4 of them. There's the junior final, the priority Paris final, the B final, and then the A. And this is the first one of those, the junior final. The fastest seed is Elijah Kendrick of Plymouth. And there's 2 swimmers in here, born 2006 and 2007 in lanes 1 and 6, who could make it to the European Youth Olympic Festival, and that'd be a great opportunity for them. That's Oscar Dodds closest to us in lane 1, and up in lane 5, Oscar Barlow. So to the 2 Oscars born 2005 and 2006, excuse me, it's lane 1 and lane 6, Oscar Dodds and Evan Davidson. And the fastest of those 2, I think, will go and swim, represent Great Britain at that European Youth Olympic Festival.
Yeah, the European Youth Olympic Festival is such a good competition. They take potentially the fastest 400 medley swimmer, the fastest swimmer from each of the 200. So it's a team that is quite difficult to make. When you're there, you're expected to kind of dip in and out of relays, swim maybe some events that you're potentially not that focused on. So it's a really good opportunity for these swimmers to qualify for that European Youth Olympics, and it can then set you up with that little bit of international experience as you come into European Juniors and then look to qualify for maybe Commonwealth Games and the World Championships. So it is a really good thing to be a part of, and I had such a good time when I was there and really, really enjoyed being part of that tight-knit, talented team.
And that's the kind of thing that I think the juniors have been missing over the last few years with COVID and lockdown. So sad that juniors haven't been able to swim, and we've lost quite a few to the sport, which is such a shame, but they're now coming back, and with 1,500 swimmers at this National Championships, British Swimming really have gone out of their way to see if they can get as many seniors and also, importantly, juniors to come and experience this National Championship with the big boys, with the PTs, with the Anna Hopkins. There he is, Mr. PT, look at that. And just so great just to be around him. And every time he swims, all the mobile phones are out videoing it, watching exactly what he does, both before the race and during the race and after the race. So important to analyse everything.
Yeah, the racing isn't just about what you do in the pool, it's about what you do in the call room, how you plan for your race, what you might eat the night before, how you recover. So there's a lot that goes into world-class swimming. It's not just about how fast your stroke rate is or how good your underwater work is. There's a lot to think about around the outside of that.
So that's the halfway mark in the first final, the junior final of the 400 medley. And first to turn was, I think it was actually Oscar Dodds down in lane number 1. Oscar had a really good flying back. He's not quite as good on his breaststroke, and now the middle 2 lanes in 5 leading at the moment is Oscar Barlow of Taunton Dean, and then Elijah Kendrick in 4.
Yeah, these 2 in the middle here kind of really pushing the breaststroke. It's nice to see when a swimmer can get out quite well at the beginning of the race but not use too much energy. In 400 medley in particular, you want to try and make the butterfly as comfortable as possible, so you're not using lots and lots of energy, not wasting it too early on, because the 300 metres to follow can be quite challenging. So the backstroke wants to be nice and comfortable, being able to still push on a little bit, and the breaststroke's where a lot of these athletes really make their move, and Oscar's really doing that now.
Well, Oscar Barlow's a very good 400 metres freestyle. Has been a national finalist in the individual 400 free, so it's going to take an awful lot to catch him up. He's had a really good breaststroke leg, a comfortable through, very well-paced through the fly in the back, but his breaststroke leg really impressive. On the back end of his 400 medley, the breast and the free, very impressive indeed. And he's turned in 3:27.4, and his lifetime best is 4:35. So if he can bring this home, he's going to do a huge lifetime best.
Yeah, he should be able to do that with the freestyle technique and the stamina he's got. The last time a lot of these boys raced was 2019, so we've got all their stats from then and then nothing really in between. So it's great to see these boys back in finals, back racing again on a senior international level, if you want to call it, racing some of the best swimmers in Britain, rubbing shoulders with them in the call room. So really good swim here from Oscar Barlow.
And a fantastic battle as well for the place on that European Youth Olympic team in lanes number 1 and 6. Those guys turned exactly even with 50 metres to go. We'll keep an eye on that for you, but no doubt about the leader, and he's absolutely miles ahead. Look at this, but look at the blue hat up there, 1 lane up from the leader, the blue hat in 6, and in lane 1 is Oscar Dodds. But Oscar Barlow of Taunton Dean, a really good swim. His lifetime best is 4:35.43, and he's just gone 4:29.4, a 6-second lifetime best on the 400 metres individual medley. A great swim from Oscar Barlow. Second in this junior final went to Joe Cooper, 4:33 from Ipswich. Third, Vadim Bosk of City of Liverpool. And fourth was Elijah Kendrick. But very, very close indeed for that 4th, 5th and 6th. But what a swim, 6-second lifetime best.
Yeah, he swam that really well. He was not up there at the beginning to say on the fly. He was really well controlled. He had 4 really nice, technically good, tidy strokes, which is so important in the 400 medley. So to do a 6-second PB, break 4:30 for the first time is a really impressive swim.
And Evan Davison just winning that battle to be the first to finish of the 2006 and 2007 born. And this is one of the qualification events for that European Youth Olympic Festival. So he's certainly put his name right in the frame for selection for that. Here is the ready room. It's quite a quiet ready room. That normally see all of those seats filled up, but quite clearly on the longer events, they're allowing them to go through a little bit slower. And this is the Priority Paris final, the second of 4 finals in this 400 medley. And Joel Thompson of Chivalrous, prolific age group medalist. He's the fastest seed. And he's also got by far the fastest lifetime best, and he goes in lane 4.
Yeah, they both, well, lane 4 swam a really good heat swim this morning, season's best. We also had season's best from lane 3, Andrew Bertoli. Lane 2, Charles Kershaw. Lane 6, Isaac Dodds. Lane 7, Thomas White. And lane 8, Joshua Press. So all of these boys this morning were swimming really well. Even season's best, and some of them even PBs to make it back to tonight.
And of the other 2 that didn't swim a season's best or a lifetime best, one of them missed it by, well, 0.2 of a second. Fantastic to see these juniors and Paris priority swimmers coming up and swimming so well. And that is why British swimming has put on so many finals. There's 4 finals per event. We've just seen the junior final. Now it's the Priority Paris final for swimmers born 2001 and younger. And Joel Thompson of Chivalrous right in the centre in lane number 4 with a black hat. Started well, as has in lane 5 with a green hat, Wyatt Walsh of Millfield School.
Yeah, both of these boys in the centre there look like they've got a really nice butterfly technique. But lane 8 has actually just took the touch there, so Joshua Press turns first in 27.91. So these boys are shifting a little bit faster than they were in the heat before. We've got 3 junior swimmers in here that can also make that European junior consideration time of 4:27.83. So that's lane 6, Isaac Dodds, lane 3, Andrew Bertoli, and lane 1, Matthew Ward. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that to see how close they can get to that junior consideration time.
We certainly will. But coming into the 100 metres turn, the fly is over, which for several people on this 400 AM is a huge relief. Was there any stage where you think, well, thank goodness that's over, or was it you just going through the process, going through the flow?
The first 100 metres butterfly, as you literally just said.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's because you know it's difficult, and if you can nail it and you do it really well, then the rest of the race you think, right, now I can get a shift on, now I can really work through the backstroke. So it's almost a case of just getting through the butterfly with as least energy expenditure as possible, and then I used to really think, right, now the race starts.
You know what, I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah. I sometimes got too carried away at the beginning, and if I was a quite strong butterfly swimmer, and quite a lot of medley swimmers are good butterfly swimmers, but if you get too carried away and use your strength but use it with too much energy, you can just pay so much for it on the freestyle. So it's about getting the really nice balance between, yes, I'm a good fly swimmer, but I also don't want to spend too much energy on it, because you could take 2 meters out of somebody on the butterfly, but they could get 4 or 5 meters back on you on the freestyle.
Well, I think we're about to see that's a really good example of that with Duncan Scott coming up, because he's a brilliant 200 fly swimmer, and he's in the final heat. And I wonder whether he could have a crack at the British record. That would be something special. So the halfway turn, 2:09.99 for Isaac Dodds, first to turn up in lane number 6 for City of Leicester. Second was Wyatt Walsh of Millfield. And those 2 guys looking good, but the Millfield swimmer in that green hat, what a beautiful, long, rangy breaststroke he's got, maximising the distance per stroke on every single stroke.
Yeah, you can really see squeezing his heels together at the end of that kick, and he's giving himself time to drive and accelerate, stretch at the front. So he's almost pausing for a fraction, but because he's got that tiny pause, he doesn't appear to have a massive dead spot. Sometimes athletes will start pulling before they finish their kick, and especially in medley swimming, it's really important to use that glide phase to your advantage, because it's not a rest, but you can still go just as fast when you're not really using your arms and legs, because your streamline is carrying you so much faster than some of the boys who are maybe wasting energy by being a little bit scrappy.
Well, the green hat of Wyatt Walsh of Millfield School in lane number 5. Looks like he might be leading with 100 metres to go, but there's 4 guys in it now, and the rest of the field starting to come back at them. In 6, it's Dodds. In 5, it's Walsh. In 4, it's Thompson. And Andrew Bertoli of Leicester in 3. And these 4 guys right in the centre. This is going to be a heck of a scrap down this last 100 metres.
Yeah, the noise is picking up in the pool now. You can hear parents, you can hear teammates really kind of cheering on their swimmer down the pool. Freestyle's always a tough one. You know, I'm on the freestyle, but the first 50, you've still got 100 metres. So you don't want to go too early and then really suffer for it, because the race is won on the last 50 metres of this 400 medley.
Well, look at that. 3 absolutely together. Oh, my goodness, that's so tight. Joel Thompson, Bertoli as well in second. Third is Wyatt Walsh. And 4th, Isaac Dodds. And look how close they are. An absolutely wonderful first 75 metres for Joel Thompson of Shiverers.
Yeah, really good here. Some of the boys, you see big legs from lane 4 there as he comes into the wall. Joel Thompson looks like he's going to take it.
So Thompson looks like he's going to get the priority Paris final. Oh, big look across. Didn't quite judge the finish right, but Joel Thompson wins the priority Paris final in this men's 400 metres individual medley, 4:28.70. Second was Bertoli of Leicester, 4:29.3, and third, Dodds of Leicester, 4:30.4. But what a great race it was, and the lead changed on every single 100. Amazing race.
Yeah, it was almost like cat and mouse. They let, you can have the fly. Well, I want to touch first on the backstroke. Different leader on the breaststroke, and then we saw Joel there really using his freestyle to come through in the end. He finished in a time of 4:28.7. Second was Andrew Bertoli, one of our junior swimmers, just outside that qualification time for the European Juniors from the city of Leicester in 4:29.43.
Wow, what a great race that was. Really was good. Really good. So, straight into the B final. And the fastest 16 swimmers in Britain about to come out. Here, ranked 9 through 16 after the heats this morning. This is the B final of the men's 400 IM. And George Smith, the fastest seed, goes in lane number 4. He beat the European Junior qualification standard in the heats. So if he can have another crack at that as well, he could certainly be on the plane to the European Juniors in the summer.
Ruben Rothbottom Keating has also got his personal best. It's under that junior consideration time, so we saw him just off that this morning with 4:28.7 he finished in. So if he's going to get near his PB, he'll also secure that time to be considered for the European Juniors.
Yes, he's not got to knock a lot off, has he? He's got to, from his heat, it's only a second. And if he can, you're right, if he can do his lifetime best, he will have beaten that consideration time for the European Juniors. And they're taking a big team to the European Juniors, possibly because the World Junior Championships may not happen. It was scheduled to be in Russia, and that's obviously been cancelled, but they may well not hold a World Junior Championships this year, in which case I think Great Britain's going to take a really big team to European Juniors. Great opportunity to make the British team there. In 4 is George Smith of Leamington. In 5, Angus Allison. Up in the yellow lanes in the centre. The B final, the men's 400 IM. And possibly the best start coming in lane number 3. That's Ruben Robotham Keating of the city of Manchester. He's also in the 100 metres freestyle, which is coming up. It's the next men's event, so that's a really tough double. 400 IM, then 1 women's race in between, and then the 100 free. That's a tough double.
Yeah, it's not an easy double, but he's probably looking to secure both of those events, the European Juniors. So if he wants to do them both, he's got to be in both to give himself the chance. So they can take up to 4 swimmers per event to the European Junior Championships. And when they get there, then only 2 of those swimmers can progress to the final, because there's a 2 per nation rule. But it gives lots of opportunity for the swimmers to be on that team and gain valuable experience, whether that is in the heat or whether they're one of the two that finish first to make it through to the final. So it's a brilliant learning opportunity, and Ruben's having a really good start here with a really strong butterfly, and I believe he's also got quite a good backstroke, so we should see him turn first again.
Well, if he's in the 100 metres freestyle finals, he's got a decent freestyle too, so let's hope his breaststroke isn't too bad, because if he can keep this going, then he could certainly rackle that European Junior qualification standard. He's already done it this year, but it would be great to see him do it here. And his backstroke's okay, but the rest of the field's starting to come back at him. Up there in that pink hat in lane 5 is Angus Allison of University of Stirling, and right at the top there in lane 8, Oliver O'Halloran of Derwent's side.
Yeah, Angus has got a really nice backstroke technique here. His head's nice and still. He's also got a really good breaststroke in him, and he'll be looking to qualify for the Commonwealth Games for Team Scotland this summer. So he's got to get a bit of a move on from this morning if he wants to make that time. It's a 4:18.86, so it's not shabby at all, and he's going to have to really work this breaststroke and freestyle split if he's going to get close to that tonight.
Well, that, I think, is a huge ask, but certainly here, Ruben Robotham Keating of the City of Manchester Aquatics looking good. He will be first to turn at the halfway. He does that really tough turn, to the back tumble turn.
Classic flip turn. Probably hasn't mastered the crossover turn that well, and it's not one that you want to risk doing in a race if you're not that confident, because if you lean too far over, you're on your front, obviously you're then technically finishing on your front on your backstroke turn, so you'd be disqualified. So a lot of these swimmers won't use that until they're really confident that they've nailed it in training.
Just looking at the pink hat, the breaststroke, if you look just at the back of his leg kick, he does a really harsh back leg kick, which is really impressive, and then it just sort of floats up to the surface right at the end, almost like an inverted dolphin kick. Can you see it there?
Yeah, he's got a really nice, what I like to call it, like a hip pop. So he'll drive forwards with his arms, not necessarily dive down, but he gets into streamline a little bit lower under the surface, which means his hips kind of pop up, and because his hips pop up, his feet almost follow. So I think it's almost like a classic long breaststroke for me in a 4 medley, but it's really powerful, and he's really whipping those heels together at the end of every kick.
So Angus Allison of University of Stirling having a really good breaststroke leg here, and going with him is Ben Harrison of Loughborough University in 6. So 5 and 6 going well. Ruben Robotham Keating just dropping off the pace a little bit down this breaststroke leg, but he's got a very good freestyle. So 100 metres to go in this B final of the men's 400 medley. First to turn was Angus Allison, second Ben Harrison, and now the charge is on for the rest of the field. Ruben Robotham Keating trying to catch back up on this freestyle leg.
Yeah, we expected him to have quite a good freestyle being in the men's 100 freestyle later, so he's already kind of caught 2 or 3 metres back up that he might have lost on the breaststroke. So it's going to be quite a tight race. Some of these boys are really coming through and using that. Some of our leaders may be getting a little bit short, so it'll be all about who's got the biggest leg kick, who's can hold that technique coming into the wall now in the last 50.
And the guys in lanes 2, 3 and 4, but particularly in 3 and 4, closest to us, the black hats and the pink suit there, they're looking to try and get that European Junior qualification time of 4:27.83. But what a race for gold and silver in this B final. And it looks like it's going to be Ben Harrison of Loughborough, but coming back again is Allison. Angus Allison not giving up at all. So tough. Look at that. What a great swim. 4:25.12 for the winner of the B final, Ben Harrison of Loughborough University. 4:25.1, and his lifetime best 4:30. 5-second lifetime best. Thumbs up. Yes, sir, that was very, very good indeed.
Totally deserved there. Ben has a really good breaststroke, and he's clearly probably used that to his advantage. That's one of his strengths, and we've seen him use that. And for him to take almost 5 seconds off his personal best time, and he wasn't far off his personal best in the heat with a 4:30.03. So to finish on a time of 4:25.12, really, really good.
And I can also tell you, finishing 3rd and 4th, George Smith and Ruben Robotham Keating, both underneath the consideration time for the European Junior Championships on the 400 medley. So they've both stuck their name in the pot for selection, and very, very good swimming indeed. That was really impressive.
Yeah, lots of PBs in that race. It's nice when you see a competitive race and these boys can post a quick time, post a time that gets them considered for a major championship. So some of these boys might not have swam internationally before, represented Great Britain, so it's great that a few of them have just dipped under that time and have got the opportunity to be considered on the team this summer.
Well, here's the A finals straight in, and the swimmers being paraded in inverse order of speed of qualification. So Charlie Hutchison in lane 8, the slowest qualifier for this final. Good lane note. And then Caden Edwards of City of Cardiff goes in lane number 1, and he can qualify for the European Juniors, as can Evan Jones in lane number 2. He's coming out in the second. William Riley of Bath in 7, but there's juniors in lanes 1 and 2, Amy, and both of them already underneath the qualification time for the European Juniors. A really strong event this for us.
Yeah, really good. And here's Evan Jones just walking out now. So it's those 2 boys in the heat before, at least all 4 of them might potentially get the chance to do that at the European Juniors. So that's the kind of really, I guess, the positive of allowing 4 swimmers per heat.
Brodie Williams, our British Olympian, in the 400 medley, 200 backstroke in lane number 6. And Jacob Greenow of Bath University in 3. And Brodie only qualifying 4th fastest for this big final. I expect him to pick it up a lot faster in this final. Mark Shranick, he'll be going for the Scottish consideration time for the Commonwealth Games, which is a 4:18.86. He can certainly do that, but this is going to be really, really interesting. Duncan Scott, University of Stirling, 4-time Olympic medalist in Tokyo, including gold on that 4x2 free relay and 3 silvers, the 200 free, the 200 medley, and the medley relay for men. Here he's doing the 400 IM. He's also done the 50 breaststroke. What is he doing?
Yeah, he looks really ready there. He's, I guess, spicing up his programme a little bit. Really good event. We saw him compete in it lots of times at the ISL. He was a really good 400 medley junior swimmer. He's obviously a phenomenal 200 individual medley swimmer, so it is nice to see him in the longer distance. And I have been telling him for a while that he would be a really good 4IM swimmer, so I'm quite excited to see what he can do here tonight, to be honest.
Well, there's all sorts of things to follow here. In lanes 1 and 2, they're both juniors, Caden Edwards and Evan Jones. And they can both make the European Junior team. They've already made the qualification standard. And then there's Scotsmen in 4 and 5. They'll be looking for qualification for Team Scotland at the Commonwealth Games. In 6, Brodie Williams from Wales. He can make it for Wales. There's also the Scottish record held by Dan Wallace at 4:11. And the British record held by Max Litchfield, who's actually not here. He's pre-selected, training down in South Africa. So, fascinating. The A final, the big final of the men's 400 medley. And we've got Duncan Scott as the fastest seed, and he looked really comfortable in the heats, extremely comfortable. But you were talking about great butterfly swimmers not using all their energy on the butterfly and trying to get the perfect pacing. And here is a fantastic 200 fly swimmer, 100 fly swimmer, Duncan Scott.
Yeah, he's got such a lovely, relaxed technique on his butterfly. He's not using massive amounts of his legs. You can see him in lane 4 there in the orange suit, and he uses his underwaters quite nicely as well, so it just looks really effortless. And obviously we know it isn't, but that's the feel you want to get when you're swimming a 400 individual medley. And Brodie Williams has gone with him there in the white hat in lane 6.
And the propulsion he gets is really amazing. When he does his pull through, he shoots forward. That's also helped by that really big second kick as well on the flight. And he looks really good at the moment. And I wonder whether he's going to try and have a crack at Dan Wallace's Scottish record of 4:11.04, 56.77 at the 100. That is quick. And Brodie Williams going with him. This is fascinating. Brodie Williams, a great backstroke on the white hat up there.
Yeah, both of these boys in the centre. Duncan's got a lovely backstroke. They've both got such still head positions, nice kind of relaxed backstroke rate. They're not scrapping, it doesn't look messy. They're using the backstroke to their advantage, because the breaststroke is where some of the swimmers will start to really turn it on, and you want to have saved a little bit of extra energy here and there, and this is the perfect way to do it. So both Duncan and Brodie here looking really good at the 150-metre mark.
Well, they certainly are. And the 2 juniors down in lanes 1 and 2. That's Caden Edwards of City of Cardiff and Evan Jones of Millfield. And they're both looking at that junior qualification time of 4:27.83. They both went 4:26s in the heat, so they've achieved that. But this battle is fascinating. Duncan Scott there in the black hat of University of Stirling, coached by Steve Tigg. unbelievable Olympic Games. It's absolutely brilliant. Scott over first, 1:59.97. Brodie Williams second. Very, very close behind him. Now what's going to happen on the breaststroke leg? This is the tough part.
Yeah, this is when it really starts to hurt. You come off that turn, you think, right, that wasn't that difficult, and sometimes it can really hit you, and the breaststrokes are really leg-dominant strokes, so you want to be squeezing them feet together, like we keep saying, maximising every single stroke, stretching out a little bit longer, but you can tell this morning Duncan was taking it a little bit easier because his stroke rate tonight is that little bit higher, and him and Brodie Williams almost kind of doing alternate strokes.
Well, that was a 35.6 second 50 metres breaststroke, so if he does another one of those, then he's going to be turning in about 3 minutes 11. Then he's got to come back in under 60 seconds for the 100 metres freestyle, which he definitely can do. And Dan Wallace's Scottish record is definitely on. And you know what? I think he could go sub 2:10, and the British record's 4:09. Sorry, 4:10. British record's 4:09. So he could well be on here. Let's see what he turns in. Like to see him under 3:12 if he can. And this really could be a new British record, and that'd be a massive shock, I think.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Really good there, 3:11.92, so he is just under that barrier, so it's not out of reach to break that Scottish record, and definitely if he can come back sub 58, he's even on for the British record, so he's definitely probably going to be going for it now. He might have that in the back of his mind. He doesn't really let much slip, but he'll have a target and a goal, and he'll be really working towards that now. But he just looks so good here. That leg kick is just insane. It's just going and going and going and going.
Well, he became the most successful Scottish swimmer at any Commonwealth Games when he won 6 medals out in the Gold Coast. And look at this, he just looks fantastic, absolutely wonderful. And Duncan Scott is still going, he's still charging.
Yeah, I think he split roughly 28 something on that length, so he's definitely on for a really quick swim here, so let's keep an eye on the clock.
So 4:09.62 is the British record. It was Max Litchfield's British record, 4:09.62. This is a really great swim, 4:09.62, he's got it. Oh my goodness me, what a fantastic swim. Duncan Scott, a new British record on the 400 medley. And to a man at this pool, everybody's standing up and cheering because that is a superb swim. Oh my goodness, 1:59.9 at the 200 metres, and he's come back in a 4:09.1. And I can't believe that's not the world's fastest time this year on 400 medley. That is truly extraordinary. Utterly brilliant. Olympic champion of that men's 4x200 metres freestyle relay. Just missed gold at the Olympics on the 200 free. Silver also on the 200 medley and on the men's 4x100 medley relay. And that is a massive marker, because his best event really is the 200 medley. He's just smashed his lifetime best by 6 seconds.
So good, so good. I knew there was something in there. I knew when he came out, he looked really kind of excited. He was pumped, he was ready for this. And just from a time of 4:09.18, almost on your own, 6 seconds clear the rest of the field. Really good.
So Duncan Scott's the new British champion on the 400 medley, 4:09.18. And I can tell you that Brodie Williams from Bath, 4:14, has qualified for the Welsh team on that 400 medley. So a very good swim from him. And third, Jacob Breenout of the University of Bath. Really good swimming. John Mason now talking to the winner, Duncan Scott.
Well, Dunks, that was a big swim, a new British record. I know you must be hurting, but you've got to be happy with that. British champion, British record.
Everyone makes this look so easy talking after races, unless I'm just way more tired than everyone else after race. But yeah, no, I was pretty happy with that. It's the first one I've done, you know, with some good preparation in a long time. So yeah, no, it's good to sort of get a gauge of where I'm at. But yeah, no, I knew I'd be around that, but now that it's happened, I'm pretty happy with that.
I mean, I love that you're like, gauge where I'm at with the British record. It was pretty amazing. You did this a lot in short course season, obviously at the ISL, did really well there. Is this something that you're looking at maybe bringing over more into your long course program?
I was scared of the 100 free boys. That's why I decided to do 4M today. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a year after Olympics, as many a person has said. So, yeah, no, I'm just looking to try out a different event, slightly long course, as you say. And, you know, I find that I really enjoy testing myself in different events. You know, I've got no idea. I mean, the 100 free is one that I've got to keep battling with. We've got so much depth in Britain as well that it's exciting if I'm part of those relay teams. So, that's not an event that's getting dropped by any means of the imagination, but yeah, it was a nice little change in the 4am.
Oh, it was nice to watch it as well, mate. And obviously, big year. We got Worlds coming up, but it's also a home nations commies. You compete for Great Britain at the Olympics. You got Team Scotland coming up over the summer. Proud Scotsman. You got to be buzzing for it.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone knows my mum, she's a proud Scot, so she'll be buzzing. But yeah, you know, it doesn't come round often, and you know, I absolutely love competing for Team GB, and it's always nice when you get to break off into different countries and you get those, you know, those little rivalries that come every so often. So it's good fun, and you know, I always really enjoy that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. You know, there's been some great swims so far, and there's plenty more days left of these championships.
There is, mate, and it was a great start for you. I can't wait to see what you do over the rest of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, new British record. Give it up for Duncan Scott.
Really interesting to hear him there talk about how he's just swimming to see where he's at and get a good gauge, and for him that is a new British record. So he mentioned he was scared of the 100 freestyle boys, but I think they'll be watching that thinking he's on form in the 4am, what can he do if he was in the 100 freestyle? So it's really great to see him. Duncan is Scotland's best ever Commonwealth athlete. He won 6 medals on the Gold Coast in Australia, and if he had 400 medley in the mix, he may even win 7 this summer. So it'll be great to see how he, well, if he does that at the World Championships this summer. I think he'd probably be in trouble with Steve if he turned around and said, no, I don't really fancy that.
I guess an interesting challenge is where it fits into the programme, because he has such a difficult programme. But normally I think the 400 medley, is it on the first day for men, 400 medley? I can't quite remember.
I know it is for the women, but it's either first for the women and last for the men, or they're both on the beginning of the meet. So it's definitely something they'll have to think about and where it fits in his programme for sure.
So here is the medal celebration for the men's 1500 metres freestyle. It was from that final heat, and Luke Turley of Bath swam a 15:20.7 to get the bronze medal on this 1500 metres freestyle. He really had a go early on, and the pace was just too quick. Dan Jervis really did wind it up and was brilliant. And Tobias Robinson was a very good open water swimmer, and I'm sure we will see him on British teams in the future, because he swam a fantastic second trial to make the Olympics, and I thought it was really unfortunate not to get into the competition. But no doubt about the winner, the harshest critic of himself I think I've ever seen. 14:58 for a 1500 metres freestyle, and he hated it. What he's going to do this summer, I bet he doesn't make those mistakes again. Such a lovely guy. And I would imagine him and his coach will sit down and go, hold on a second, Dan, that actually wasn't that bad, and we can sort this out and turn it around really quick.
Yeah, he's been able to crack a little bit of a smile there, so he's not in as a critical mood as he was as soon as he finished. But that's the thing, sometimes you finish, you see the scoreboard and you think, that's not what I wanted. Why isn't it the time that I was after? Why haven't I swam as well as I wanted to? But sometimes it takes 5-10 minutes for you to get away from that initial reaction, go back, speak to your coach, and really draw the positives out of what you thought was a bad swim.
And here are the medalists for the women's 50 metres freestyle.
Winner of the bronze medal, representing Bromley, Evelyn Davis.
And Evelyn Davis from Bromley winning the bronze. The Bromley bronze, 25.39. Very good swim from her. And interesting, lots of people say, oh, you've got to be really tall to be a good swimmer, a good international swimmer. If you look at the relative height, Anna Hopkin in the centre, she is Olympic champion. She's not the tallest swimmer, but my goodness me, packing a punch. She absolutely wallops it, doesn't she? Isabella Hindley of Brompton wins the silver medal, 25.25, but sub 25 seconds for a 50 metres freestyle. Very, very good indeed. 24.85. Anna Hopkin is the British champion on the women's 50 metres freestyle.
Yeah, she'll probably have to stand on her tiptoes here to get in shot for the photo, but we remember Fran Halsall, obviously our British record holder, and she wasn't necessarily the tallest swimmer in the pool either, so it's not necessarily how tall you are, but if you've got a really good stroke, really good technique, and your power to weight ratio is really good, then there's no reason why you can't rival with the best swimmers in the world, no matter how tall you are.
So the swimmers leaving the poolside after their medal ceremony. Now we've got a really special presentation. This is something I don't think we've ever seen at the British Championships before, and it's something absolutely fantastic. Just sit and watch this one. We are celebrating our world record holders from the Olympics. Leading them out there, Kathleen Dawson, then Adam Peaty, James Guy, Anna Hopkin, and standing behind them are world record certificates. The award is going to be presented by the interim chair of British Swimming, Adele Stachkevitz. And following the British 4x100 mixed medley relay team at the Tokyo Olympic Games, taking hold the gold medal in a world record time of 3:37.58. Please now welcome those individuals to receive their official FINA certificates. And look at that, absolutely wonderful. That is a world record certificate. Kathleen Dawson was the lead-off, clapping herself. What a look at that. I mean, if you're going to get a certificate for anything, look at that. That's going to get pride of place forever. Kathleen Dawson led them off, and she had to swim. One side of her was the male world champion, and the other side, the male world record holder in the backstroke. Then Peaty went in and swam the fastest breaststroke split in history. James Guy was then on the butterfly leg, went 50 flat. Only Caleb Dressel and Michael Phelps in history have ever gone faster than that. And now Anna Hopkin on the freestyle leg went head-to-head with Caleb Dressel, took him down, and Team Great Britain, there we are. One gold in a new world record, 3:37.58, and won it pretty easily in the end. Look at that. Wouldn't it be fantastic to have one of those?
It really is the dream, I suppose, to win an Olympic gold and to do it in a world record time. And Adam hasn't got enough hands there to hold all of his world record certificates.
Well, that's right, Amy, because in addition to that relay, achieving the 2 world short course times, world record times at the ISL in November, and achieving 2 world long course records at Glasgow at the European Championships in 2018 and in Guangzhou at the World Championships in 29. Adam Peaty gets another 4 world record breaking certificates. So he's going to take 5 world record certificates back to his home. Wow. What a fantastic memento. I mean, it is, you know, well, what did you get? I got a certificate. Well, that is one of the most special things I think I've ever seen, Amy.
Yeah, it's incredible. I hope he's got them hung in his hallway all the way up the stairs. I know I've got my 7th place finalist certificate framed, because you are technically the 7th fastest swimmer in the world. Adam is the best swimmer in the world 4 times over in his event, 5 times over. Every time he swims, he gets faster and faster, which means he's in theory breaking his own world record. So he must have 5, 6, 7 of them at home already, and to add another world record to the title is an amazing achievement. And yeah, I'd have them all over my house if I was Adam Peaty.
Well, he's got plenty of them. He can change his wallpaper for world record certificates, can't he? My goodness me. That was such a fantastic race to commentate on. So here are the finalists for the women's 200 meters butterfly for the junior final. Again, 4 finals in this 200 meters butterfly for women. And the first final are the juniors, and they can qualify for both the European Junior Championships and the European Youth Olympic Festival. And that's an interesting meet, isn't it, that European Youth Olympic Festival? Not the European Championships, but again, a really great opportunity to get fantastic experience.
Yeah, so some of the younger swimmers in that age group, so the girls born 07, 08, will have the opportunity to come back and swim at the European Youth Olympics if they make that. So you've got Isla Jones, Sky Carter, Phoebe Cooper, all within that age bracket to qualify for the European Youth Olympics. And we see them in this event, which is a selection event. They normally take the 200 swimmers and the 400 individual medley. So the winner of this event gives himself a good chance of being picked to be part of that team.
Well, there's 3 swimmers, as you say, Amy, who can qualify They are of an age born in 2007 or 2008. That's in lane 4, 7 and 8. Isla Jones, Sky Carter and Phoebe Cooper. And all 8 swimmers can qualify for European Junior Championships. That might be a little bit of an ask because the qualification time 2:13 is very quick. But the experience that they will gain from swimming at the National Championships in the evening final session should be absolutely wonderful. And a super start from one of the European Youth Olympic Festival potential representatives up there in 7, Phoebe Cooper of City of Sheffield.
Yeah, she had a lovely start there, really nice, tight, tidy underwater phase, and it does make a bit of a difference if you can get up and almost take 0.2, 0.3 out of your competitors straight away, because she's carried that lead now coming into the first 50.
So Phoebe Cooper turns first, and she looks pretty good. A little bit slow around the wall, maybe. Looks like she lost maybe a half a metre or so on that turn, but still very even. And look down here in lane number 1, Elijah Coe of Davencio, looking also very good indeed.
Yeah, a lot of these swimmers kind of went out quite comfortable. None of them look like they're working too hard at the beginning of this 200 butterfly, but this third 50 for me is really where those swimmers will make a move. And if you're going to bring in your legs, you start to do that towards the end of this next 50. So you want to get around the wall nice and tight, and Phoebe Cooper's still leading the way there in a split of 65.88.
And a better turn there for the red hatter, Phoebe Cooper up the top there. Now the rest of the field starting to charge. And there really are, 5 swimmers across the pool here who can take down this third 50, and it's looking good. She's starting to go away again, Phoebe Cooper. This is really impressive, very impressive indeed.
She's using that second kick really well. You see her feet disappear, but then you see her second kick, her feet come right back into the surface, and she's really driving down. So she's using that power. A little bit long into the wall there, maybe getting a bit tired, but this is where it starts to hurt really, really bad in a 200 butterfly. So you've got to really dig in down this last 50.
Well, the 2 leaders at the moment can both make the team for the European Youth Olympic Festival, and this is going to be really interesting. The fastest one, the first to finish of those 2, I think will certainly go. And Phoebe Cooper looks like she's going really well with 20 metres to go up there in lane number 7. Isla Jones coming back from the City of Sheffield as well, but it looks like Cooper's holding on at the moment with 5 metres to go inside this red markers. Cooper up there in 7, Isla Jones of Sheffield in 5. Oh, and Cooper gets the touch. Really good swim from her. 2:18.14 and 2:18.54 for Isla Jones in second. And those 2 swimmers swam really well, both well under the time that they set this morning. And that's a massive lifetime best for both of them. Great swimming.
Yeah, 2 seconds there for Phoebe Cooper under her personal best time, and she is just 14 years old, so she's a slightly younger age for that European junior bracket, so really good to see her finishing well there.
Wow, the way she swam that, I mean, she went out from the start, and I just thought maybe a little bit early she's gone, but she held on really well, and that was super impressive. So the next final is the third of the 4 finals. It is the Priority Paris final for swimmers born 2001 and younger. And Madeline Robertson is the fastest seed in lane number 4. And again, great to see so many juniors coming back in the evening for the finals, allowing them to prepare not only for the heat, but then come back and have that whole experience of resting during the afternoon. What would they have done during the afternoon in terms of resting?
Probably, well, looked at the swim that they did this morning, maybe have a quick talk to their coach, have a look at their splits, maybe kind of chat about how it might feel, and then they'll go back, rest, have a really good lunch, maybe get in a little bit of a nap, chill out, and then they'll come back and just think, right, what am I going to do tonight to be better than this morning?
Well, it's a real skill in itself, getting that resting right, because if you swim a really good race in the morning and then you forget to swim down and don't rest enough, that's the end of it. Women's 200 metres butterfly, the Priority Paris final. And well, a really good start there in lane number 4 from Madeline Robertson. Well, she's only 17 years of age and That was a very good start indeed. Good reaction to the gun, but lovely underwater and a good break up to the surface as well in lane 4.
Yeah, breathing every stroke down this first length. Every now and again, she's breathing every 2. Personally, for me, I would try and lengthen that out a little bit so you're not breathing too often, too quick, and try and get into a little bit more of a rhythm. But if you're strong enough to breathe every one down a whole 200 butterfly, then go for it, because it's not that easy to do.
Well, the swimmer in lane number 2, Chloe Harris, the only one of this final who is of an age to qualify for the European Junior Championships, and she can make it. And the time that she's got to do is 2:13.81. Well, she went 2:19, so she'd have to go a huge lifetime best, but she's having a crack. This is very interesting.
Yeah, really good from her here to turn first at the 100 in a time 64.25. So coached at the Royal Wolverhampton School by Mark Spackman, and they've had a really good week here.
So she's still going well, Chloe Harrison too, but starting to move on again is Madeline Robertson in 4. And these two swimmers really working hard down this first 130, 140 meters now of this 200 meters butterfly, and with this turn 1 length to go, and she really is holding well. This is an impressive swim for the swimmer in lane 2, the junior Chloe Harris of Royal Wolverhampton School.
Yeah, she's got that time of 2:13.81 is a really tough time. So if she's trying to get close to that, she's going to have to really work down this second 50. But a personal best, season's best, is just as good.
So Madeline Robertson in the centre, holding really good water, and she's charging now. Look down this last 50 metres, and they've got about 20 to go. Robertson in 4, Harris in lane 2, and it looks like Robertson's just taking over a little bit, the 17-year-old in the centre lane. And a good swim from her. Her lifetime best is 2:17.66, 2:17.66, and she's just gone 2:15.4. 2.2 second PB. That's what it's like. That's what it's all about. Yes, it is. And that is why British Swimming are putting on so many finals, to allow the youngsters to come along and achieve that.
Oh, she looks so chuffed with that, and why wouldn't you be? She's kind of like, oh my gosh, did I really just do that? So it's nice when a swimmer can get in and surprise themselves in a good way. And they've been working so hard, these swimmers, over the last couple of years, and haven't had the opportunity to come to a British champ. So it's really nice to see them here and enjoying themselves, and ultimately off the back of that, they're swimming well.
Well, what a fantastic swim that was. Chloe Harris as well, 2:16.4. Her lifetime best was 2:18.7, so a 2-second lifetime best for her as well. Wow. Well, the lifetime best being reset all across the pool in every single event. And I'm delighted that British Swimming has had the foresight to allow so many swimmers here. 1,500 swimmers at these British Championships. They've split the heats into 2 sessions in order to accommodate so many. And then they allow 32 swimmers into the finals in 4 different finals. You have the junior final, and then you have the priority Paris final. Now the B and the A for the top 16 ranked, regardless of age, after the heats. Fastest qualifier for this B final, Betsy Wizard of Northampton.
Yeah, we've got one junior swimmer here, Lucy Fox, who's in lane 1. So her entry time is 2:16.99, so she's on 2:18.36 to make it back, so she's got a little bit of time to drop, but you'll be looking at that heat that just swam before you and thinking, they've dropped a few seconds, so I need to kind of be on it now if I'm going to drop a couple as well.
Well, there's also a junior in the A final, Ashley Bailey, that's coming up next. And she's just outside the junior qualification time at the moment, but who's to say that Lucy Fox isn't going to do it here? Lucy closest to us in lane 1 in this, the B final of the women's 200 metres butterfly. The fastest seed is Betsy Wizard of Northampton in lane number 4.
Really nice.
I'm pleased you think it's really nice. Poor old Amy's just choking it, take a little sip there, but really nice starts. I think she was going to say for the swimmers in the centre, and it's maybe lanes 4 and 6 at the moment. That's Betsy Wizard and Ekaterina Price in 6 of the University of Bath.
Yeah, sorry about that. Got a little bit choked up, I guess, too excited going into this B final of the 200 butterfly. So really good start from these swimmers in the middle lanes. Some slightly different techniques across the pool. We've got a couple of swimmers maybe rating a little bit higher. Some of those swimmers have a slightly wider hand entry, and ultimately in butterfly swimming you want to try and kind of maximise the pull underwater. So a slightly narrow entry, sometimes really difficult, but if you're going to maximise that pull, you want to get all the way from sort of shoulder width all the way to past your hips.
Oh, a bit of a glide into the turn in lane 6 for Katarina Price of University of Bath. But, well, she was first to turn in lane number 6. Lane 3 was second. Shannon Stott of Hatfield in that pink hat closer to us. And now Shannon starting to pick up the pace at this 125-metre mark. And the big guns normally start trying to push it off that 100 metres turn. And they're going well here.
Yeah, really want to build into this third 50, but they're all in a line. All these girls pretty much turn within 0.1 of a second at the 100-metre mark, so there's nothing really splitting them at all. It's going to be who's got the most strength, who's got the biggest fight, who's got the biggest heart and the most power in their legs as they come down this last 50.
Well, only 15/100ths of a second splitting the first 3. And now look at the charge coming on from Betsy Wizard in the centre. But Shannon Stott of Hatfield with a pink hat still leading. Also going well is Sophie Freeman of Plymouth in lane number 5. And the Plymouth swimmer, Sophie Freeman, looking really good here down this last 50 metres. She's got to hold on. She's got to spot the finish, breathing every stroke. Is she going to stick her head down inside this last 5? No. Well, yes, it is on the last one. And 2:13.82. And that is a really good swim from Sophie Freeman of Plymouth Leander to win the B final of the women's 200 metres butterfly. She wins it. Second, Betsy Wizard of Northampton. Third, Shannon Stott of Hatfield. And fourth, Lucy Fox from Wickham.
Really impressive finish. It's not easy to increase that stroke rate coming into the wall, and Sophie did that really well there, which kind of cinched the gold, shall we say, in the B final tonight. So really good swim from her. Well tactically swam race, clearly well thought out.
And it's a good way to look at it as well, Amy. It is a gold because you can only swim against who's in your final, and Sophie Freeman did exactly that. She's won the B final of the women's 200 flight. 2:13.82. Wizard second, Stott third, Fox was fourth. Whoa, take a breath. This is fast and furious. And here we go, the final of the women's 200 metres butterfly. The A final, the fastest 8 British women in the country. And Chiara Strossen of University of Edinburgh is the slowest seed there in lane number 8. And Isabel Goodwin of City of Leeds. City of Leeds having a really good meet here.
Yeah, a lot of those swimmers having a really good meet, as you say, coached by Rich Denigan there. It's nice when you see your teammates doing well and you can kind of buzz off that adrenaline. And Ashley Bailey, he is one of those swimmers that's doing exactly that from the city of Sheffield. So she's our junior swimmer, was third in the 800 freestyle.
Ashley Bailey, just 15 years of age from the city of Sheffield, a real youngster, only a junior in this final. And she'll be right next to Emily Large, going in lane 6, coached by Dave McNulty at the Bath National Centre. Now, Holly Hibbett, World Championship finalist in 400 metres and 800 metres freestyle. I watched her do, well, my first time I'd ever watched her do 200 metres butterfly this morning, and she looked really good.
Yeah, she's actually a really strong butterfly swimmer. She was an age group national champion at 200 butterfly when she was 15, 16. So it's always been on her radar, but she just tends to favour the freestyle as she's got a little bit older.
The second fastest seed is Kiana McInnes of University of Stirling. Her lifetime best is sub-10 and went, in fact, well under sub-10, 2:08.86. But by far the fastest seed, and the big favourite is our British Olympian. It's Laura Stevens from the Loughborough National Centre. And her lifetime best is 4:07.04. Well, the qualification consideration time for the British team at the World Championships is a 4:07.9. So she's got to go within 0.8 of a second of her lifetime best. There she is to qualify for the World Championships.
Yeah, she should be able to do this. Obviously, 2:07.91 isn't an easy swim to achieve, but she's got really good swimmers around her that can hopefully really push each other to achieve that.
Well, fascinating body shape. A lot of the swimmers these days are getting much, much bigger and stronger, but she's extraordinarily strong, but quite slight. Very aquadynamic through the water. A beautiful stroke. So the fastest seed, big favourite for this A final of the women's 200 metres butterfly is Laura Stevens of the Loughborough National Centre in lane number 4, in the black hat and the black suit in the yellow lanes just this side of those two in the centre.
Yeah, Kiana McInnes is just above her, and she's gone out quite well. So between a lot of these swimmers, they're either European junior gold medalists, world junior gold medalists, Olympic semi-finalists, Commonwealth finalists. So there's a really good field of athletes here that are going to be pushing this race pretty quick if they want to try and get near that consideration time for Commonwealth or for Worlds.
And just keep an eye out for the red hat up there at the top, the junior. That's Ashley Bailey. The time she's got to go is 2:13.81 to be considered for the European Junior Championships, and she looks really good. Swam well already here, was a bronze medalist on the 800 metres freestyle last night, and she's looking good. She's flowing well down this first 100, but no doubt about the leader, a big favourite and a really impressive first 100 metres from our Olympian Laura Stevens at the Loughborough National Centre.
Turns first there in a 1:01.60, and she just looks really good here. Breathing every one, has the physical strength to be able to do that, and she's in a lovely rhythm.
So Laura Stevens in lane number 4, trying to go with her in 5 is Kiana McInnes. In 6, it's Emily Large. And down in 3, one lane closer to us from the leader, that is Holly Hibbert, the World Championship finalist on the 400, 800 Venus Freestyle. Spotted that turn just perfectly. 3, 4, 5 kicks underwater. Very good indeed.
Yeah, she's going to have a really big 450 here to get under that time. She's split in a 1:34.11, so it's not impossible, but it's definitely tough.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work to do. She's going to go under 2:08. The time she's looking at is 2:07.91 as the target, and she's got some work to do. Swam really well at the Olympic trials last year to make the team for Tokyo, and what a great experience that was, and she's going to be right on it. Is she going to get there? Oh, 2:08.11, just outside the consideration time by 0.2 of a second. It doesn't mean she's not going to go, but it just makes it that little bit more tough. So good swim, and so close, 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, really tough for her. You want to see swimmers just get the right side of those consideration times, so she'll be pretty gutted that she's just missed that by almost a fingernail. But Ashley Bailey there has done the opposite. She's been just under that European Junior consideration time, so she swam a lovely swim there. Really good, well-paced race, and finished in a time of 2:13.21, so 0.6 under that consideration time.
Very good. Well, it's impressive. Nevertheless, 2:08 for a 200 metres butterfly for a woman is very, very good indeed. And I wouldn't be too surprised if they do take not least of which for cover for that medley relay, the butterfly leg on that, because she's a decent 100 flyer as well. Such a tough event, but she is the national champion of the women's 200 fly. There we go. Confirmation of the result. Laura Stevens wins it from Loughborough National Centre, 2:08.11. McInnes second, Hibbert third, Large fourth, and down in 6th, Ashley Bailey, underneath the European Junior consideration time, as you said, Amy, by 0.6 of a second. A really, really good swim.
Yeah, Kiana McInnes there also just nipping under the 2:11 barrier.
And John, now talking to the winner, Laura Stevens.
Laura, I know it is a tough race, that 2 fly, and that was a big swim. That was a big swim. Fast time, I know you were gunning for that that consideration time, just outside of it. How are you feeling on the other side of it?
Tired. No, that was really good. I wanted to move it on from this morning, and I knew it was going to be a tough time to hit, but to get that close, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, as you should be, you know. And it's been a bit of an interesting one for you, because we watched you have your breakout swim in the qualification for Guangzhou, made a world final there, it was amazing. And then, of course, everything went a bit crazy. So now we're sort of getting back on track for Laura Stevens. What's next?
Well, hopefully something even faster this summer at the major meets, whichever ones, we'll see. But no, I mean, it's been a really bumpy but interesting ride so far, and I'm just really looking forward to moving on and getting even faster.
I can't wait to see you do it as well. Look, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know you need to go swim down. But congratulations, British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Laura Stevens.
Thank you.
Well, it is one of the toughest events on the programme, the 200 metres butterfly, and missing out by 0.2 of a second for consideration time for that World Championship team. But look at these guys, very laid back indeed. Look at that. Those are the big boys, teammates of yours.
Yeah, showing off Tom Dean there, showing us those muscles, but he doesn't really have that many. Matt Richards there in the black puffer jacket, Joe Litchfield in the middle, Cam Curl next to him, Dan Jones. So you've got a lot of really good, strong swimmers in this coming up in the last event of tonight.
So the men's 100 meters freestyle and that final, well, they've laid back now, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot of testosterone and an awful lot of fireworks flying around fairly shortly, because that national championship title is up for grabs, but there's 4 of them, I think, possibly even 5 who could win that. And there's English records up for grabs. There's possibly even British records up for grabs. All of the big final guys, I'm sure, will be in home nation teams at the Commonwealth Games in that 4x100 free relay. Could all be in the final, but they will not want to lose that final. And that's going to be an absolute cracker. Can't wait for that. That's in 4 finals time. This is the first one, the junior final though. And the fastest seed is Aidan Simmons-Brown of Plymouth Leander. He's in lane 4. There's just 7 swimmers in this final. And 2 swimmers in lanes 1 and 6 are of an age that can qualify for the European Youth Olympic Games. All of them can qualify for the European Juniors. That time 50.3. That's a really fast time. Juniors. Big boys.
I was just thinking that.
Blimey. Well, that was Aidan Simmons-Brown of Plymouth Leander, right in the centre in the silver hat. He started well, but possibly a slightly better start in 5 is the swimmer from Camden Swiss Cottage in the white hat, but right up there maybe Jack Skerry of New Hall, the fastest down to 30 metres.
Yeah, it's hard to split these boys. They're not really breathing every stroke. They're using that leg kick already, which you'd expect to see in the 100 metres freestyle. They haven't got the opportunity to really rest on that at all. They almost dive in, break out, got to go straight to the legs and hold that for the whole 100 metres.
So McKinnon of City of Glasgow looking very good with a blue hat closer to us, but it's really tight now, very, very tight indeed. And it looks like 3, 4 and 5 also all going really well. And, well, it's going to be right on the touch. Maybe it's going to be lane number 5, Klimaszewski of Camden Swiss Cottage going to get it. Who does get it? Yes, he does. 51.67 wins it. 51.93 is second. Third is Aidan Simmons-Brown of Plymouth Leander, 51.97. Really close. And that, the junior final. Those guys are monsters.
Yeah, those boys a little bit quicker than they were this morning, which is always nice to see. The winner of that race there, finishing in a time 51.67. We had Raphael in second with a 51.93, and third, just behind that, was 52.04, the swimmer from the City of Glasgow.
There is Tom Dean, double Olympic champion, won the Olympics 200 metres freestyle, and then led off the British team on the 4x2 free relay to gold. Very nearly broke the world record on that. 2 gold medals at the Olympic Games for Tom Dean. He swims in 3 finals time, because before that we've got the Priority Paris final for swimmers aged 2001 and younger. And the fastest seed, again, just 7 swimmers in this. Fastest seed is Fraser Agnew of Edinburgh University. Michael Ripper, second fastest seed in 5, and Calvin Fry of Mount Kelly in lane number 3.
Yeah, so every single swimmer in this field this morning in this Priority Paris final swam a season's best to make it in here tonight. So it just shows you the calibre of athletes, the fact that everyone was ready to get up this morning. And in lane 6 there, Ruben Rothbone-Keaton, we saw come out of the 400 individual medley. And now he's back in this men's 100 freestyle.
In actual fact, 5 of them broke their own lifetime best in lane 7, lane 6, lane 5, lane 4, lane 3. All lifetime best to qualify for this final. This, the Priority Paris final for swimmers aged born 2001 and younger. Agnew from Edinburgh in 4, Fry of Mount Kelly in 3. The Priority Paris final of the men's 100 metres freestyle, and a really good start from Calvin Fry of Mount Kelly. Look at that start down in 3.
Great start. He's already kind of taken, well, a 30 centimetres out the rest of the field before he's even started swimming. So that's what you want. You want to maximise what you're good at, and he's carrying that speed lovely down this first 50.
He's carrying a lot of speed. He's working quite hard, but he really is quick. Let's see his turn. Nice and quick over. Really good underwater. 4, 5, 6 kicks underwater and a great breakout. Starts and turns brilliant.
Yeah, he's almost got Dressel-like kick there underwater. They're so big and so powerful, and the range of them is just enormous.
Yeah, they're coming to charge back now, right at the centre. It looks like in lane number 4, Fraser Agnew of Edinburgh University. Maybe he's taking over. Also going well is Ruben Robotham of Manchester. And it looks like, who's got the touch? Fraser Agnew got it, 50.88. Second, Finn Nicol of Swansea. Third was Ruben Robotham Keating. Well, he's just done the 400 medley, jumps out of that 400 medley and come third in the Priority Paris final of the 100 metres freestyle. Amazing.
Yeah, and he's done that faster than he did this morning, so he set a PB, which is phenomenal to do after you swam 400 individual medley, and you have only had, what, 45 minutes to really get in the swim down quickly, have a snack, recover, get ready for the final.
Well, a new lifetime best to win the Paris Priority final in this, the men's 100 metres freestyle for Fraser Agnew of Edinburgh, 50.88. And all of these guys going lifetime best. Brilliant swimming from them. Very, very good indeed. Well done. Getting closer. We're getting closer and closer to the A final. Swimmers ranked 9 to 16 from the heats this morning. And this, the B final of the men's 100 metres freestyle. And Alex Cahoon of Loughborough University, the fastest seed. And Callum Jarvis of Bath in lane number 5, Olympic gold medalist in that 4x200 metres freestyle relay. Olympic gold in the B final. What class we've got in British swimming at the moment.
Yeah, it just shows that you really had to be on your game this morning to make it back into that A final. And Callum Jarvis, as we said, was part of that 4x200 freestyle team, and he swam the heat of that event, but it takes more than 4 swimmers now to win Olympic gold, and that's what British swimming are really working on and focusing on. So lots of these swimmers in the A and the B final have the opportunity to be back at the World Championships or the Commonwealth Games, and Alexander Painter from Millfield School in lane 2 is actually after that European Junior qualification time, so he has to take off 0.3 from this morning to achieve that.
What an opportunity to go to the European Junior Championships for the junior in lane number 2, Alex Painter of Millfield School, coached by Ewan Dale. The 17-year-old is in 2, but Alex Cahoon, fastest seed in 4, Olympic champion in the men's 4x2 relay in 5, Callum Jarvis. And another Olympian from Rio in 2016, Stephen Milne, goes University of Stirling in 7. And up there in 8, Jamie Ingram probably had the best start off the blocks. Really good from him.
Yeah, that side of the pool had a really good start there. You've got William Casey also up and swimming really fast in the white hat in lane 6. So this is going to be a really close race, I reckon, between all of these swimmers.
Well, Ingram right at the top there. Is he going to be first over? Or Cahoon in 4, equal with Ingram, 23.72, tighter 1/100th, but a great turn up there in 8.
Yeah, really uses that underwater work there in the second turn.
Well, it's really close. Look at that. Up the top there, Jamie Ingram absolutely flying down this second 50. Trying to come back in the centre in 4 is Alex Cahoon of Loughborough University. But it looks like it's going to be Ingram, is it? Who's going to get the touch? Ingram gets it. 49.85 for a B final. A massive lifetime best. 50.6 was his lifetime best. He's just gone 49.85. A really super swim from him.
Yeah, Alex Painter there, just still shy of that European Junior consideration time, but faster than it was this morning, so what a haircut.
I was just going to say, if you're going to have a haircut like that, you have to win, and that's exactly what just happened. You can't get out and come second with a haircut like that, can you? And Jamie Ingram's just done that. I hope his mum knows he's done that. 49.85, what a great swim. First time sub 60, and he wins the British National Championships B final of the 100 metres freestyle.
Yeah, another really close race. You see 0.1 split in second and third, 0.2 split in third and fourth, 0.1 split in fourth and fifth again. So you've got to be really on it in these finals to make sure that you're as high up the finish as you can.
Well, here it is. We've been waiting a long time, but this is going to be really, really interesting. And with Duncan Scott favouring the 400 medley in this session, he is the British record holder, and he smashed his own lifetime best on the 400 medley. I reckon he could have gone a super time here in this final, but he's decided to swim something else and give these guys a chance. And here, well, just listen to who we've got. This is Ed Mildred, European junior silver medalist on this 100 metres freestyle, to an amazing Romanian Popovici in that. In lane 1, we've got Dan Jones from Wales. He can make the Commonwealth Games team for Wales. Then in lane number 7, we've got the Rio Olympian, Cam Curl of University of Stirling, a teammate of yours, Amy.
Yeah, he swam a personal best time this morning as well, so really excited to see what he's got in the locker. Lane 2, you've got Joe Litchfield from Loughborough University, coached by Dave Hemmings.
Well, really versatile. He is 200 medley swimmer, also a brilliant backstroker and a great sprint freestyler. Now in lane 6, only 4 fastest qualifier for this final. Olympic gold medalist on the 4x2 free relay at the Olympics. And now, age 19, he is in the final of the British Championships 100 metres freestyle. Double Olympic champion Tom Dean goes in 3 for Bath University. Tom Dean won the 200 free at the Olympics, won the 4x2 free relay at the Olympics. And faster than him is Jacob Whittle, the English record holder on this 100 metres freestyle, in the time 48.11, but just 4 100ths behind that time. Swimming in the heats this morning was Lewis Burris of Winchester, coached by Zoe Baker, and he could break the English record. And I wonder whether some of these guys are going to have a crack at Duncan Scott's British record, which is 47.87.
Yeah, I think it'll be really close. Lewis Burris this morning was out really, really quick down that first 50, and tonight he's got 7 other swimmers in there that are world class and are going to be pushing him right to the finish. So I think 47.87, it's going to be close.
There is Whittle, and he is only 17 years of age. And I have to say, at age 16, he was at the Olympics, and at age 16 at the Olympics, he swam 48.11 and made the B final of the Olympic Games. Wow, well, there's Burris. And Burris is really quick. You know, he's never made a senior British team, you know, I don't think. And, well, he hit exactly the World Championship consideration time for the 100 free in the heat, so he's already in that consideration pot. He's in 4. The big final, the A final of the men's 100 metres freestyle. Lewis Burris right in the centre in lane number 4. In 5, Whittle in the red hat didn't have the greatest start, and 1 up from him in the black hat. Matt Richards of Bath had a really good one.
Yeah, Lewis Burris is up really quick there, and he's flying down this first 50. We knew he'd be out fast. He did the same this morning, so if he can carry on this pace and turn and come back just as quick, then that British record is definitely on.
Well, he was 22.7 this morning, 22.6 right now. Tom Dean in second place, and Dean is really quick. Dean 1 lane closer to us. He's quick on the second half.
Yeah, he's obviously really strong over the 200, and he's pushing him now. He's sitting on that lane rope, trying to use that wave.
So it's Burris in 4, Whittle coming back in the red hat in 5. In 3, it's Tom Dean, but Burris holding on. Dean coming back like a train, right on the finish. Who's got the touch? It is Lewis Burris, and the time is 47.88. It's 1/100th of a second, 1/100th of a second outside the British record that is still held by Duncan Scott, and he's watching on the sidelines. But he set a British record on the 400 AM earlier on. But that is a massive swim from the swimmer from Winchester. And Zoe Baker done a super job to deliver that. 47.88 for 100 metres freestyle. Burris wins it second, 48.06. Third, Jacob Whittle, 48.2. Those 3 guys, low 48s and a 47. And a new English record for the winner, Lewis Burris of Winchester.
Huge swim for him. We knew that British record was potentially going to be on the cards, and to miss it by 0.01 is fantastic. And both him and Tom Dean have smashed that world consideration time of 48.15, so both of those boys should be on the plane this summer to the World Championships.
Well, there you go. That's what it means. He's been waiting a long time for that. He had a hernia operation last year, and so unfortunately missed the Olympic team. He could possibly have made it then. Congratulations from John Mason. It's going to be great to hear what he has to say in a second. But a new English record for Lewis Burris, very nearly a British record. And when you add the British record holder into that field, Duncan Scott, what a relay that's going to be. Burris wins it, Dean is second, Jacob Whittle third, Matt Richards fourth, Mildred fifth. And now let's hear what he's got to say, the champion, Lewis Burris, talking to John.
I mean, I was going to say swim of the night, but I think it's up there as the swim of the week, Lewis. Congratulations. That was a massive swim. 47, what was it? 47 up here, 88. 0.01 off that British record. One of the biggest swims in British history. What's going through your mind?
This swim is just the tip of a long iceberg. I last competed at the British Champs 4 years ago. It's been quite a roller coaster since. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but a lot of lessons learned along the way. And even though the block holds one person, I wouldn't have been able to make that climb without the following people. So this time is for you guys, my family, for your unconditional love and support of not only myself but my dreams. Ash Morris, Mike Simpson, the lessons learned from you guys have helped me become the man that I am today. Winchester, thank you. Ollie, Big Ollie, Little Ollie Joe, thank you. Ian Hume, we spoke on the phone last May. Through your selfless act, you put me in touch with Zoe Baker. And honestly, Zoe, you're the reason I'm alive today. So without you, I wouldn't be here.
Well, I think that says it all. Takes a village, takes an entire village, mate. World Championship, qualification, consideration time. I mean, massive swim. That's coming up this summer. Obviously, your sights were sort of set on that. You blew it out of the water. How are we looking at sort of progressing then as we move through this season and head towards that, the next step?
I think the goal is still going to be to continue to do my work in the dark, take it one day at a time, and just commit to the day in front.
Well, I think you did absolutely everything you needed to do here today, mate. Congratulations, British champion, one of the biggest swims of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give it up? What an amazing performance for Lewis Burris!
Well, what a swim. 1/100th of a second outside the British record, but it was a new English record. And when you add Duncan Scott to those top three guys, and even the fourth one, Matt Richards, wasn't slow either. That is going to be a super relay, and we've got 2 more years to get that relay better. And in Paris, well, if we got, I think all 4 guys could be going 47 by then. And if we can get the 47 highs to 47 lows, and the 48 lows to the 47 highs, that could medal.
Yeah, really scary to see the potential of that team. We swam well in Tokyo in that event, but the 4x2 was our better event in the men's relay, but the potential in that for Paris is phenomenal, and you can tell how much it means to him to 4 years ago, swam at his last British Champs, 4 years where he's had COVID interruptions, he's been in America, now he's back, and for him to be on the podium tonight and be crowned British champion obviously really means a lot to him, and to secure a world qualification time or consideration time it sounds like the cherry on the top of the cake.
Well, it really does. And that was a fantastic way to finish the third night of finals. There's 6 nights in total, so we're halfway through now. And what a way to finish the third night. Utterly brilliant swimming that was. So the medal ceremony for the men's 400 IM, and I wonder what's going through Duncan Scott's mind, because he's just swum the most awesome 400 medley in British history, breaking the British record, and it was Max Litchfield's British record. He's down in South Africa training at the moment, but the British record on the 100 meters freestyle holder, and he still holds it by 1/100th of a second, but now the new British record holder on that 400 medley, 4:09.1. Did you expect that?
I knew he'd be quick. I knew he had something in the locker that he's been working on in training. He trains all 4 strokes all the time, doesn't really prioritise freestyle. So I've been saying for a while he's got a good 400 IM in it, and he was almost in denial. And to do it here at the British Champs and swim better than he expected, probably better than most people expected, and set a new British record it just shows how world-class of an athlete he is. And he can almost turn his hand to anything, it looks like, and he comes out on top.
Well, he certainly does, and he's got some good people steering him as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Steve Tigg leads up the performance program there in Stirling with the help of Bradley Hay, and the network of support they have in and out of the gym and physio is really world class, and that's why Duncan can do what he does day in, day out, and put his hand to anything.
Well, the medalists for the women's 200 metres butterfly, Holly Hibbett, impressive. The distance freestyler, going 200 flying, going 2:10.2, nearly ducked under 2:10. That would have been something special to see. That's a really good swim from her. Nice to see a smile on her face again. That's a very, very good swim, impressive swim. And Kiana McInnes, just outside 2:10, wasn't it? 2:10.02.
Yeah, she might be a little bit disappointed with that, but she achieved the Commonwealth Games consideration time, which was 2:11.00, so she'll have something to look forward to this summer, no doubt. And Laura Stevens there, I just felt my heart sank when she finished and was 0.2 outside that world consideration. You know how much it means. Last year she was at the Olympics, managed to make the semi-final, couldn't quite make the final, so I was really hoping that she could just sneak the other side of that time, but fingers crossed, maybe the selection gods are really nice and she gets to go to Worlds this summer.
Well, I really hope so, because she did go to Olympics. She got an awful lot of experience there. This is a reset year. It's a tough year, and the qualification standards are really, really tough. So it would be lovely to see the selectors have a sit down and add her. Doesn't really matter if you're the last person on the team list, does it? Just stick your name down and get to go out there, because there's still a good couple of months to go to hone her skills to get faster and faster. We'll certainly see her at the Commonwealth Games. And now this medal ceremony for this 100 metres freestyle. Wow, what a race it was. And Jacob Whittle, well, his start, I'll be really harsh, it was shocking. Absolutely shocking start, but he was probably the fastest swimmer in the race on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, he's still so young, and we forget how good he is and how young he is. He's, I think, British record holder for 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years. Not quite 17, because he hasn't swum it at 17 years, but probably is now. So he's just such a good swimmer, and he's been around so long that we forget how good he is, and he's got time to sharpen up. And here we have Tom Deem on the opposite sort of end of that, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, coming here at the British Championships, not rested, still swimming, absolutely unbelievable.
Well, Whittle got the bronze, the silver to Tom Dean, and Lewis Burris, 47.88. What a great swim it was. And a lot of demons, I think, have been put to rest there. He's had such a tough couple of years, and he's now back. And Zoe Baker doing a super job with him, and delivered a 47.88 new English record on the men's 100 metres freestyle. And when you add Duncan Scott into that pot there, what a potion that's going to be.
Yeah, you've even got the opportunity for some of those swimmers like Matt Richards, who just missed out. You've got James Guy, you had Dan Jones in there, you had Cam Curl in there. There's almost 8 world-class swimmers that you could almost switch 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening. So it's exciting that we have that depth in British swimming.
Well, what a session it's been. It's been absolutely fantastic. We also saw the world record certificates presented to that mixed medley relay that won gold at the Olympics in a new world record, and 4 more certificates for the world records that Adam Peaty has broken over the last 2 years on the 50 and the 100 metres breaststroke. So Peaty goes back with 5 world record certificates, and Kathleen Dawson, Adam Peaty, of course, on that relay, James Guy on the fly leg, and then Anna Hopkin on the freestyle of that mixed medley relay at the Olympics, all taking back world record breaking certificates. What a night we've had. Some brilliant swimming, 400 medley for Duncan Scott. Was that the highlight for you this evening, or the 100 free?
I think the 400 medley for me, it holds a place in my heart, and I was really excited to see him do that, and he didn't disappoint.
Well, that's, I think, certainly one of them, and it has to be the other one, that 100 metres freestyle with a 47.88. What a night. It's halfway through now. 3 nights done, 3's to go. What a brilliant British Swimming Championships for 2022. It's good night from Andy Jameson.
We'll see you tomorrow morning on day 4.
Good night.